All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
What is going on? It is your boy Pride, and we have a great show for you guys today. Finally, Bishop decided to make his long-awaited return. He went into hiding. Oklahoma, OU loses one time, and then you can't find the man for a while. It's crazy. We got Greg out here who somehow always wants to bring in the Chiefs to whatever conversation we talk. We can be talking about NASCAR and also Patrick Mahomes will be involved. We have Jonathan, who probably is even deeper in his Lakers depression because he can't do nothing right. Because every time he criticizes his team, Fredward gets mad. By the way, I want to limit how many times you say his name because then he'll show up. And then obviously the man whose dream is to grow up and be a part of the greatest organization in the history of the NBA, the Portland Trailblazers, is that man, Coach Jonathan. How's everyone doing today?
What's going on?
I'm doing good. Man. Yeah, Portland better than the Lakers right now. So at least Jonathan can admit that. At least Jonathan, you're a great dude, man. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what Fred say.
Appreciate you, man. Lakers Nation's been coming after me for the last month or so now, so I'm used to it.
Let's go, man. I'm happy to be back, bro.
Bro. Feel how you feel, bro. As long as say what you say and mean it. So yesterday we had nothing but dog shit on our screens. The game started with the Bears and Lions, which I'm on record saying I am going for the Lions until they get their win. Then after that, I don't care what happens to them. The Bears ended up winning 16-14 in what was a horribly coached game. I'm talking about I could have done better. It got to the point where like the Bears at the end literally just killed the clock. And it was literally able to kick a field goal from like, what was it? It was like within well inside the 20. It was like bad close. Yeah, it was stupid close. Right. Bishop, did you see the game at all?
I didn't. So unfortunately, like I said, I was on my way back from Florida. As y'all saw yesterday, I was still in Florida, so I didn't get an opportunity to see that game. The only game I caught was the Dallas Cowboy game because I wanted to make sure the Cowboys lost, of course. But I did not get to see this. I did not get to see this game. I do know that they did. I do know that it has been said that it was some horrible coaching in this game. It has been stated that it was some horrible coaching, but I've also heard some bad officiating, things of that nature. I see Andy Dalton do for 317 yards, 1 touchdown, was 24 for 39. He did throw an interception. I don't know. This game was expected. Like I said, I don't know if y'all heard me yesterday because, like I said, my internet was kind of bad. But like I said, this game could have went either way. This was definitely the toilet bowl, one of the toilet bowls, because I mean, come on, 0-10 Lions versus the 4-6, or the 0-9 Lions versus the 0-9-1 Lions. Let me give them that one tie that they did get. Let me give them that 0-9-1 versus the 4-6, or the 3-6, 3-7 Chicago Bears. I mean, come on, man, it was a horrible. I mean, you could have threw it up and anybody could have won this game. And that's exactly what it looked like actually turned out. I mean, come on, 16-14 in 4 quarters. That's all you scored was 14 and 16 points. I mean, this was expected. I'm not surprised about who won in regards to Chicago. Like I said, it could have been anyway. My question to y'all is Jared Goff any good?
No, absolutely not. He was here in LA with the Rams. I've seen him play, and he's not a great quarterback at all. He can't read the field. That's one of the big issues.
But
he was 21 for 25, 171 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Thank you.
Nice,
the Bears ain't even that good.
Though.
The Bears ain't really
some games
that
he
good.
Show up, other games he disappears into the darkness, and you don't hear from him for like another 2 weeks. Then he comes back and has a great performance, and then he goes back to hibernation. I just don't know about
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say one thing about this. I'm gonna tell you this. Like, I talked to a Rams fan on my channel. I interviewed a Rams fan, and he said Jared Goff is not good. He cannot read the field.
He can't.
But when you have weapons and you still can't get it done with Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, that should tell you a lot about the quarterback situation. And it's not that good. When you have those weapons, you have a good running back in Todd Gurley, and you cannot get it done, that should tell you all you need to know. And you can win with them. That should tell you all you need to know.
Right. And the Bears weren't even a tough draw. The Bears
they were not even a tough draw.
Yeah, this
I get it.
Let me ask y'all a question. Hold on. Let me ask y'all a legitimate question. Let's take Jared Goff out of Detroit. Name me one quarterback you put in Detroit that could fix that shit show. I'll wait. Oh wait,
Matthew Stafford could do it because he's been doing it. He's been doing it for years over there.
Injuries kind of hampered.
He's been doing it for years over there.
He was doing it, but coach, he was doing it at one point until Megatron left.
And after Megatron left, he got better. After Megatron left, he got better. Matthew Stafford got even way better after that.
Matthew Stafford got better once he joined the Rams.
He could not elevate his team in any way, shape, or form.
He has elevated the Rams though.
He had elevated himself in the round. I mean, like
without question, Matthew Stafford is definitely better than Jared Goff.
Absolutely.
Of course he is. But my thing is, to say Jared Goff is horrible is absurd. If you want to,
and that's why I asked the question, Pride. That's why I asked.
What it is.
He's terrible. He'll tell you.
I look at him.
I just think it's the wrong system for him. I think it's the wrong.
He's a nice guy.
I'm like Pride. I think he's in the wrong system. I don't think Jared Goff is.
I put him in the same category I put Baker Mayfield in. They cannot carry your franchise long.
Baker Mayfield is better. Baker
Mayfield's in a different situation too.
I feel like Baker Mayfield is better too, but I don't think Jared Goff is garbage, man. I don't feel like
I don't either.
I think he's in a bad system.
That's what I think so. And again, I do believe he's a system quarterback. I think he's a solid quarterback. He was doing pretty well when he was in LA.
Well, it's quite telling that it's bad coaching.
But this is my thing, Pride, and this is for Coach Dante and Jonathan and Greg and all of y'all. Now, I do agree. He should have been he wasn't that bad in LA, to be honest. He wasn't. He had good weapons. Should he have been better than what he was playing? Yes. However, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't. Y'all cannot act like Jared Goff was doo-doo out in LA. He wasn't doo-doo out in LA.
I mean, because he had Todd Gurley. He had Todd Gurley to take pressure off his arm. So when you had that, you're gonna take pressure off.
That alleviates a lot of pressure.
If Jared was that good, he'll still be in LA, right? He'll still be that. If
he's actually that good, he'll still be the guy right now. I don't feel like that, Coach. I don't feel like that, Coach. Just like I say, he's not a great fit for Detroit right now. I think he just wasn't the fit in LA. I feel
he wasn't the fit in LA, so they didn't have no faith. They didn't have any type of faith in him. So that pretty shows the type of quarterback that he is. That's the reason why they swapped him.
But Coach, just because I trade him doesn't mean he's trash.
I don't think Jared Goff just like Sam Darnold. I don't think either one of them guys are good, man. I just don't think they're good.
He's not an elite quarterback.
He's not an elite quarterback. I think he's just below average. A below average quarterback.
I think he falls in the category. I think he falls in the category of a quarterback that's a game manager.
What's wrong with that though?
No.
Isn't that what
he
doesn't
necessarily make him bad, but
I just think he's an average quarterback.
He's not valued as an elite quarterback.
We've never stated that he was elite.
No argument.
No one said he's elite. That's not even the case. Y'all calling him garbage. Y'all saying he's garbage though. Y'all pretty much putting him in the trash can.
Well,
and I'm saying he's not.
The numbers though,
he's not that.
Let's look at those numbers.
I just don't buy it.
I'm out. He looked horrible his rookie year. Okay.
Expected.
Since then, he threw for over 3,500 yards every single year. Okay. 2 years he threw for over 4,000 yards. Okay. One year he threw for over 3,000 yards. They went 13-3.
That's not garbage stats.
Right? Every single year he's gotten at least 20 touchdowns. The only time I'm talking about outside of his
year. I mean,
he was horrible.
Is he better than Jameis Winston? Is he better than Jameis Winston? Is
he
he
better than
he's
Jameis
better than
Winston?
Jameis Winston. And
No,
I
I don't know. I can't answer that. I can't answer that because they both
I don't
average. They both average. They both
I don't
average.
know.
He's a
Are
flawed
y'all
quarterback.
serious
He's a
right
flawed
now?
quarterback.
Bishop,
He
hold on, let me ask you a
serious
question.
right
Hold
now.
on, let me ask you a question.
He
Let me
misses
ask
his
you a question.
intended targets.
He
He's
does.
not all that. He's not a spectacular quarterback that people,
And then we're not saying
you know,
We
make
not
him to
giving
be.
him
If
that.
Todd Gurley was, if Todd Gurley wasn't running the ball, can you really trust Jared Goff to make
No.
the right
No.
decision? If Todd Gurley
No.
wasn't
Yeah.
running the ball,
Because Todd Gurley
and
wasn't
Matthew Stafford
security.
was able to do it without no running game. Matthew Stafford was able to do anything without no running game. He never had no running game.
You're making a mistake right now, Coach. You're making
No,
a
I'm not.
mistake. Yes, you
No,
are.
because the
what
No,
you're
play
doing-
action that
yes.
the Rams like to
you're
utilize
thinking
a
that
lot
we're saying
made him a
Goff
better
is
player.
better than Matthew Stafford. That's not the argument at all. Now, I'm not saying that, and I'm pretty sure Bishop ain't saying that either, right, Bishop? You're not saying
No.
that either, but we're not saying that.
No,
All we're saying is Jared Goff is a solid quarterback.
he's
That's
not
it.
doo-doo.
A game manager, that's what he is. If you put him in the right system, he will thrive. You know what I mean? Like,
So let me ask y'all this: is Jared Goff better than Carson Wentz?
You say it's who?
Is Jared Goff better than Carson Wentz?
I don't know.
Well,
No, I
he
don't
has
think so.
stayed
I don't
healthy.
think so.
I don't think so. I don't
Carson
think he's
Wentz
better.
a little
No.
bit better.
He has stayed
Carson Wentz is
healthier
just a
than
little bit
Carson
better.
Wentz.
Nope.
hey,
What
listen,
is
hey,
Jared
yo, Bish,
Goff
Bish,
better
He has
than
been
Carson
healthy.
Wentz?
He's been
I
healthy.
caught him.
No.
Look, I
Uh-uh.
love Carson Wentz. I am
Uh-uh.
a Carson Wentz fanboy. When the Eagles were doing him low-key dirty, I was one of the people saying, Wentz, get out of there. You need to get out of there. You need to find a new home. And you need to you need to basically start from scratch. This year, he's playing more like a game manager than he ever has in his entire career. So to sit there and say
That's why
that, Carson Wentz, how dare you? When he literally right now this year has been playing like a game manager, and y'all slaughtering Jared Goff because he's a game manager.
Carson Wentz almost had an
I'm gonna be
MVP
like,
season if he didn't get hurt. Carson Wentz almost had an MVP season if he didn't get hurt.
Didn't Jared Goff
If he
get
didn't get hurt, he would have been MVP.
Go down with that
He would have been MVP. And he would have been a
ACL
Super Bowl
injury.
champion. And he would have been a Super Bowl
ACL
champion.
Jared Goff would
Basically.
He almost had an
That
MVP
injury
season.
set him back.
Yes.
Jared
And he
Goff.
didn't have no running game. He didn't even have no running game with the Eagles. He didn't have no running game
Who
at all.
didn't?
Oh, Carson Wentz, he didn't have no running game. They didn't utilize the run. They didn't utilize the run like that. They didn't utilize the run like that. They didn't utilize the run like that. Not that year. Not that year.
Yes, we
Not
did.
that year. They didn't utilize the run like that.
Yes, we
That
did.
man had 40 touchdowns. That man had 40 touchdowns within 10 games. They didn't utilize the run like that.
No, bro.
They didn't use the backs like that.
We had a running game.
They didn't even use. They put everything on Carson Wentz before he got hurt. And then when Foles got a situation, then that's when they started using the running game. Otherwise, they wasn't using the running game like that when Carson Wentz was there. That man almost
disagree
have
with you on that, coach.
60 touchdowns. Okay, I mean you can disagree, but hey, the man had 40 touchdowns within 8 games almost. 40 touchdowns. They didn't use the run like that.
Hey, Bishop knows his team. He knows his team.
I know. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan too, so I know how many. That man had 40 touchdowns within 8 games almost.
Yeah. We threw the ball a lot. We will. I agree with that.
Yeah, we did throw the ball a lot. We threw the ball a lot. We threw the ball way more.
You're kind of like leaving out. First and foremost, they did use a run game because a lot of the plays that they ran in terms of passing was play action.
Screens.
And they were kind of biting off it because they ran the ball. And two, every time Carson Wentz had the ball, which is one of his biggest knocks, he wants the home run ball. There have been one of the biggest knocks is that Carson Wentz sees the
always look for the
guy.
home run ball. That's true.
Yes, he sees the check down guy and goes.
That's true.
All them wasn't check downs though, bro. All them
a lot of
wasn't
these
check downs.
quarterbacks now look
That
for the
was
home
deep
run
pass. That
ball.
was most of the
that's what I'm saying,
plays.
Coach. No, Coach, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like the knock on Carson Wentz was like he would look at the check down guy who was wide open and say, "I'm not throwing the ball to you," and then look deeper and throw it like as far as he can because he wanted every single of his passes to be the touchdown pass. I'm not saying that he was checking down. I'm just saying that he had that opportunity and he chose not to because that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted that home run.
He wanted the home run ball all the time.
And I just think right now in their career, like right now, Carson Wentz is playing like a game manager. He really is. He's playing like a game manager this year.
Yeah, well,
And
look
we're
at
not
all the
killing him
talent
for
he
it.
has around him. Jonathan Taylor is having a career year.
Yeah.
You know, he has broke out to be something special. So, I mean, yes, you know, you have a strong running game behind you. That's going to help the quarterback tremendously. And that's what it's done.
17-3, set 19-3, 19 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. I mean, he's not hurting the team.
He's
not
not.
hurting the team.
No, he's not. But,
He's
let
not.
me ask you a question. Let's play this game. You put Carson in Detroit. You think he's 19-3? I'll wait.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So that's my point. All I'm saying is this.
He's
For
not.
us to crucify Carson Wentz, or I'm not Carson,
Jared
Jared
Goff.
Goff for this.
Mm-hmm.
A, he's a game manager. You know, he's not a dude who he'll probably carry your franchise one, maybe 2 games a year. We'll have those great games where all of a sudden he looks phenomenal. But
he also throws a few
that,
interceptions
he's
too.
a game manager, and I don't think it's bad because guess what? The Saints right now would kill for a game manager. They would kill for a game manager.
Josh Allen.
Yes. Yeah, and you know who else? You know who else they would kill for a game manager after this year? The Packers. Because we lose Aaron Rodgers, they're gonna be stuck with Jordan Love, who the organization does not know what they want to do.
He has to be a game manager the way he playing.
So guess what?
Yeah,
they will love a game manager.
Yeah, they will have.
Yeah,
now,
it's like,
okay, so that's a good point. So that's a good question right there, Pride. Do you think if the Packers were to get Jared Goff, would the Packers still be the Packers of old with Jared Goff? Even though we know we can't compare with please don't get this misconstrued. We can't compare Jared Goff to Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Aaron Rodgers is better.
But
that's a big shoe size fill.
But Jared Goff in Green Bay.
On coaching.
Jared Goff in Green Bay.
And Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur.
I say they have success on one condition. Devontae Adams has to stay.
Well, yeah, of course. I think that plays a big part.
But will Jared Goff be able to adapt to the cold weather? And would he be able to handle the pressure of following the footsteps of a legendary quarterback?
There'll be no pressure.
Big question.
There's no pressure. There's nothing behind it.
There's
no pressure.
The only pressure
none at all.
Is
I don't think so.
If you're a Russell Wilson or you know what I mean, like an established quarterback who you already want to ring, you are who you are, and now you need to lead us to the promised land. Jared Goff, the only pressure is just be better than Jordan Love.
That's it.
That's really the only like with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston stepped in, there was no pressure for him to be
he had to be better than
no. They were just like, bro, be better than Trevor Siemian, be better than Taysom Hill.
That's it.
You're good.
That's it. And you win the position. You win the job. You win the job. That's it.
Because the thing is, we know Jameis Winston is never going to be a Drew Brees. We all know that. You know what I mean? And when with Jared Goff going to the Packers, everyone knows this is not Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Who's the other alternative? Jordan Love? Okay. Be better than Jordan Love.
That's it. That's all. That's the only pressure he got. That's it.
And that's all he really needs to do.
That's all he got to worry about. And the way Jordan Love is
better than Jordan Love.
When the way Jordan Love's playing,
the way he played.
Right. He has no pressure. Exactly. There's no pressure. That the whole point he made, he has no pressure because the way Jordan Love has played once he's gotten into the game shows that he's clearly not ready. So therefore, if Jared Goff was to go there, I feel like he would strive. I feel like Jared Goff going to the Packers, not saying that's going to happen, but if he was to go there, hypothetically speaking, if he was to go to the Packers, I feel like it would be like Mac Jones in New England. My personal opinion. That's me.
Jordan Love, man, he crumbled like a chocolate chip cookie under the bright lights.
Yeah. Everybody knew Jordan Love wasn't ready.
He definitely wasn't ready.
I feel bad for the kid. He barely got any practice. They kind of just throw him in there cold turkey.
Yeah, he's not ready.
All that stuff. I high-key feel bad for the dude.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Me too. That's all I'm saying. This kid, just to call him trash, I think is just unfair.
Far-fetched. It's far-fetched.
I think it's unfair.
Yeah, it's far-fetched.
I think he just goes out. He's a game manager. You know, he's not a top-tier quarterback. But can you win a Super Bowl with this quarterback? Yeah, you can.
You better have a top 10 defense if you're gonna win. If you're gonna win the Super Bowl with Jared Goff, you better have a top 10 defense.
Matter of fact,
hold on, Fisher. That's fair.
If the Rams don't win this year, will that clear up any of the disrespect to Jared Goff? Because supposedly the only thing was the defense. If they or not defense, sorry, was quarterback.
No, it was quarterback. Yeah.
Win.
Right.
If they don't win it this year, isn't that a knock on Sean McVay and the entire Rams?
Oh, it's a huge disappointment
It is,
if they don't win it. It's a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
If they don't win.
I'm not saying disappointment.
Consider this season a failure.
Yeah, it is.
It is a failure if they don't
I
make
think
it.
it's gonna be a failure
if they don't
Yeah,
win.
because you traded the one piece that
Wait a
you
minute.
think you need
Wait a
to
minute,
get
Coach.
you over the top.
Is
Right.
it a failure if
You
they don't make
traded
it?
for
Or
what
is
you
it a
thought was
failure?
Oh, it's a failure if they don't make it. If they don't make it, it definitely if they don't make it.
But
No,
it's
no,
also a failure if they
If
don't
they
win.
don't
too.
make it, it's definitely
You traded
it's a
for a
failure.
veteran linebacker in Von Miller. Then you traded
Yep.
for Odell Beckham Jr.
OBJ,
You
yep.
also pulled off a blockbuster trade over the offseason to
For
acquire
Jared Goff,
Matthew
yeah.
Stafford. So if you don't win it this year, then yes, that's considered a failure.
That's a failure.
And then
That's
you
a
got
disappointment.
OBJ, you got
On the
OBJ
loss
and Von
note,
Miller them on
disappointment.
1-year contracts too. They're not guaranteed to be that next year either. Robert Woods hurt his ACL late during the
Exactly.
year. Yeah, so you're gonna have some problems if you don't get close or if you don't win.
And
you
the
have
reason
problems.
the Rams made these curious moves was to win now. Their intent is to win this season and to have the Super Bowl played at their home stadium in Inglewood.
Bishop, I'm putting it to you this way. If they don't win the Super Bowl this year, I'm gonna have a whole episode, an entire episode, and I'm gonna call it Jared Goff Appreciation Day. Because if they don't make the Super Bowl, I cannot wait to hear the stuttering, the backpedaling, and the excuses. Because my guy, Jared Goff, that bad boy #1 sis, he brought him to the Super Bowl. Imagine, Jared Goff, he's a new shiny toy.
And that's another thing. Y'all keep saying he's not that dude, but he did take him to a Super Bowl, man.
With the help
That
of
was because of Sean McVay and Todd
Courtesy of
Gurley.
That's a part of it.
Let me ask you a question. Hold on, let me ask you a question.
It wasn't because of him.
Yes,
It has to be because
It wasn't
Sean
good.
McVay is throwing the ball.
You guys
Sean McVay ain't
also
catching the ball.
discrediting the defense that they had. They had
They had a real
The
good
defense is not putting up points.
They got exactly.
The
They got
defense they stopping
The
points.
defense
They
came
not
up with
putting
some
up
major
points.
stops and helped get them
That's
to
the
the
same
Super Bowl
defense.
along with
You
a strong
still got
running
to
game.
put points on the
Todd Gurley.
board, Jonathan. You
They got
still
the
got to
same
put points on the
defense.
board.
Yes,
You still got to
still
put
gotta
points
put
on the
points on
board,
the
but
board.
exactly.
you had a strong running game with Todd Gurley. And
Oh
Todd
my
Gurley, I'm
God.
telling
Still
you,
gotta
his
put points on
So
the
presence
board.
hold on. Let me ask you a question. Hold on, yo, Bishop.
really made a difference for the Rams.
Bishop, I'm looking
What's
at
up?
a dude who had 28 touchdowns, 32 touchdowns, 22 touchdowns, 20 touchdowns, solid touchdowns. You know what I mean? I'm
Todd
looking at a
Gurley was
dude-
the bright spot for the Rams.
Really?
He was.
Let me ask you a question. Hold
There's
on,
no
In the
way.
Super Bowl
There's
game,
no
in the
way.
Super Bowl
Yeah,
game,
he scored
Bro,
three.
in the
there's
Super
no way
Bowl,
you can say that.
in the Super Bowl game, when they took away Todd Gurley, what was Jared Goff able to do in the Super
He
Bowl?
sucked.
Exactly.
When they took him
He
away,
sucked.
they
He
took
was
him away.
he had a couple games when we got Todd Gurley. There were a couple games where he went off, and that goes.
No, I'm in the Super Bowl game when everything mattered. Where did? Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
No, but that's my point. There's 1 or 2 games a year where Jared Goff will take over, and he's good for that. Then outside of that, you could say he's a game manager.
Yeah, but I need a
Of course.
consistent effort.
But to give him no credit, no
Really,
credit
Jonathan?
whatsoever.
Really, Jonathan? Name one quarterback is consistent throughout the entire season. One.
Thank you.
And I'll
Thank
wait.
you. Thank you.
Wait, I'll wait.
Thank
Even the GOAT,
I'm talking about quarterbacks like
even the
Tom
GOAT is
Brady.
inconsistent.
Tom
Even the
Brady
GOAT is
is
I love Tom
inconsistent.
Brady. That's my guy.
Even the
That's my
GOAT is
guy, Tom
inconsistent.
Brady. Did you see
Come
how
on,
he was
bro.
in the first quarter against the
Come
Washington
on, bro.
football team?
Come
Stop
on, bro.
playing, man.
Even the GOAT is inconsistent.
Come on,
bro.
son.
That's
Yeah,
not
you gotta have these-
Hey, if he was inconsistent, if he was inconsistent, they wouldn't get to the Super Bowl that many times. Then if he was that inconsistent,
Exactly.
like say you don't be inconsistent and get to the Super Bowl that many
he's saying-
times, you
no,
don't get it.
Jonathan said, he wanted consistency.
Exactly. You can't put Jared Goff on the same level
Yes,
with Tom Brady.
Tom
and
Brady
Aaron
been
Rodgers. You just
consistent
can't.
every single season. They don't make
They're
the
in a
Super Bowl
different
if you're
They're in a different
inconsistent.
stratosphere.
Because no, Jonathan,
Listen, there's a difference between.
You're saying that he's too inconsistent. That's what you're saying. You're saying that he's too inconsistent. And Bishop's point is, hold on, just any small inconsistency, you can't then blow that up to a mass size. You can't, because
Right.
everyone at one point is gonna have a bad game. As great as
Inconsistencies.
Josh Allen is, guess what?
Fair
Guess what?
enough.
He had a bad game. You can make argument too. Like who else you want to go? Russell
Just
Wilson.
Just like Tom Brady 2 weeks ago, he had a bad game. He threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter. He had a bad game. He was inconsistent. It happens.
And that's
We're human.
Right. And that's my point. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Because you guys are basically saying, oh, he's garbage. Put Trevor Siemian on that team. Are they making the Super Bowl?
Who?
No.
Which team?
The year the Rams made the Super Bowl, and take out Jared Goff, you put in Gardner Minshew. You put in Trevor Siemian. Hold on. Josh Rosen.
No.
Those are guys who are trash. Those are guys who are trash.
I see what you doing. You're using those guys to say that they're trash quarterbacks.
No. I see. Because y'all trying to make it seem like Jared Goff is trash. He contributed to taking them to the Super Bowl. It was a team collective. Yes, I will say that.
Facts.
But to sit here and act like he was riding all the way to the back of the bus, just going like this and not even singing no show tunes, you're bugging out of your mind. Ain't no way dude go for over 4,000 yards and he gets
not trash, bro. The stats right there let you know he's not trash. If you throw over 3,000, 4,000, there's no way you can be trash.
And you know, we have the same conversation about Jameis Winston. You know what I mean? When he was like being all gun happy, I think he's the only dude to have, what was it, 30-30? 30,
yeah, 30-30.
In the season.
Yeah, 30-30.
Everyone was like, yo, he's not trash. He just needs to,
do a lot of interceptions. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, don't sit here and tell me, Naomi, okay, here's your bottle. Oh my goodness. Don't sit here and tell me, she made me spill it on my, like she's out here rushing, like slapping my arm like to hurry up. And she made me spill it on my pants. But my thing is with Jared Goff, like trash is dudes who get drafted and then become backups for the rest of their career. That's really it. Really it. And by the way, someone said the difference between Goff and those quarterbacks you mentioned, Goff doesn't make you feel like he can bounce back. Brady can bounce back. Cousins can bounce back. Right. And that's what makes them the top level guys. Right? That's what makes them the top level guys. Now, the thing is, no one's saying he's a top level guy.
No.
That's the problem here.
Yeah.
We're saying he's a game manager. He's a solid game manager.
He's a second-tier quarterback at best.
Yeah, second.
If you want to say second, and that's fine.
That's fine. I'll take that. I'll take
that.
He's a Joe Flacco, if that makes sense.
Second-tier quarterbacks aren't winning Super Bowls now.
Joe Flacco was a second-tier quarterback.
And he had a hot stretch. Remember, he had a hot stretch that season.
Ben Roethlisberger, when he won his first Super Bowl, you could consider him a second-tier quarterback.
Facts.
What?
But how many of those second-tier quarterbacks have won Super Bowls the past 20 years?
Well, let's put it like this. Let's put it like this.
Not a lot.
Hold on. Let's put it like this. We know Tom Brady got half them. First of all, let's put it like that. We know Tom Brady got half of those. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. He got half of those.
That's a broken question.
Yeah, that's half of it right there. Once Tom Brady gets out the league, then we can say, okay, now let's ask.
That's why I hate that question.
Yeah, because come on, man. Tom got all of it. Come on,
he got a good handful of those. All I'm saying is this, because you guys want to say it was Todd Gurley and it was everyone else except Jared Goff. All I'm saying, and
unfair. Again, that's unfair.
If you take him out, you put in Gardner Minshew, Trevor Siemian, Josh Rosen. If you put any of those guys in there, are they making the Super Bowl? It's a simple yes or a simple no.
Nope.
No.
They're not making the Super Bowl.
No.
And so that's my point. Those guys are trash. That is trash. When
Gardner Minshew actually plays, he's very good. He can be very good. He hasn't had no opportunity. That's why he probably haven't had opportunities. But when he actually plays, he had 37 touchdowns, only 11 interceptions when he played. So he was actually pretty decent. He was actually good. He was actually good.
Let me ask you. You put Gardner Minshew in LA, they make a Super Bowl?
I don't think so. But like I say, he was actually pretty decent. He was actually good when he did play. He just don't have opportunities.
He had opportunities and he was so great, so phenomenal.
But he was good. When he got his opportunity, he was good. He was good.
Have the best team around him.
He was still good. They were so phenomenal
they traded him to go get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, but it's hard to say that, Pride, because he didn't have enough talent around him.
Who didn't?
Wait, hold on. Hold on, no, so hold
Gardner
on,
Minshew.
Bishop,
Talking about
come on.
In Jacksonville?
So you're
In
telling
Jacksonville.
me, hold on, Bishop, take this road. Bishop, take this ride with me. So you're saying, how can we possibly blame too much on Gardner Minshew because he didn't have that talent? He didn't have enough talent around him, right? I mean, it's not fair to really expect so much of him when there's not that much talent around, right?
That's what.
So let me ask you a question: why are we slandering Jared Goff?
Because what talent does he have around him?
Checkmate.
None in Detroit.
Outside of Swift and maybe Hawkinson.
Swift, I give you Swift.
Swift got hurt yesterday. And that's what made all the difference in that game, too. Once he went down, they didn't have the same momentum.
We are slaughtering Jared Goff.
There it is.
Slaughtering him. And look what he got to work with.
He doesn't.
Me, fresh after my accident, I don't know if I told you, I had a car accident in December. Broke my back. Almost had surgery. Scariest thing I've ever had in my life, bro. Swear to God. Me, fresh out of my accident, my son, who could barely walk, and my daughter, who gets distracted if you just say the word butterfly, will go out there and will do a better performance than what they did. Let's be honest, bro. The only people who are allowed to stay is Swift and Hawkinson. Everybody else, go home. Do not come back. And we'll be undermanned, bro. We'll have my fiance on her period, who more likely to kill me, her own teammate, than anybody else on the team. We'll have her on the team, and we will still do better than Detroit. But we out here slaughtering Jared Goff. We're out here assassinating the good name of a man who's just shown up to work and literally comes home smelling like shit because of all the stuff that's around.
Okay, we get you.
Next game.
That's
I'm so passionate about Jared Goff, bro. I really
we
am.
can tell you love.
I can see that.
I like Jared Goff, and he's not the best.
He's a good guy, man.
I would not stand for any slaughter because any slander, because every single time I ask the question, if you put any other quarterback,
I think that was well established about 30 minutes ago.
You said what?
I think that was well established about 30 minutes ago. How much you love Jared Goff.
Facts. Yeah.
That's my guy. To the game I watched, and honestly, I didn't really care about this game. I laughed. Oh my God, the Raiders in Dallas. I've never in my life have heard so much crying over flags. Flag. It was a flag. The flags weren't there. Meanwhile, they both got flagged at the same amount of times. Imagine not telling your defense to stop grabbing a dude's jersey consistently. You're literally pulling back, like the Dallas quarterback are pulling back the wide receivers, literally. And then when the flag gets thrown, really is like how? And it's like, bro, are you that stupid? Like, come on, son. Bro, what are you doing? Get it together, bro.
Bro,
it took 28
penalties. 28. Each team has combined 14 penalties apiece. Dallas was caught for 166 yards of penalties.
That's
the
ridiculous.
most. That was a franchise record. Almost 200 yards in penalties alone.
That's not playing very disciplined football
at all. They have no discipline whatsoever. That's horrible. That's horrible.
But of course,
my thing about the Cowboys, and I've been saying this, and I've been saying this from day one. Everybody, a lot of people was riding high because Dallas was winning at one point. They was 6-1, so forth and so on. Dallas is exactly who I thought they were. Dallas only beat up on team.
Let me just say one thing. Damien, do me a favor. Actually go watch the Denver game. Because they got Cortland Sutton, who's a hell of a receiver. They got Noah Fant, who's a young and upcoming tight end. He's got offensive weapons, and we're not blaming him. We're just saying eventually they're going to have to move on from him because even John Elway said they want a young quarterback. They missed with
Teddy Bridgewater has way more weapons than Jared Goff has.
And it's not even close.
Yeah.
Not even a debate.
Not even a debate. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Like I said, Dallas Cowboys is exactly what I thought they were. Dallas Cowboys was beating up on teams who had a horrible defense. My Eagles is one. The Dallas Cowboys, when it's all said and done, if they playing up against a defense that's decent and well enough, they will not win. They will not win. They will fold and they will lose games, and then they make bonehead mistakes. How do you sit there and allow First, the field goal team went off sides, backed them up 5 yards. Then you jump, give them back the 5 yards. Then you line up over the center, which you know you can't do. Like you said, Jonathan, no discipline whatsoever. You know you can't line up over the center during a field goal. You know you can't do that. That's safety purposes. Can't line up over the center. So you get another penalty. You make it a pooch kick basically after that, and they win the game on y'all. Like, it's just horrible. And then to have 14 penalties, that's unheard of.
That's ridiculous.
That's unheard of. Come on, man. That's just I mean, Dallas is exactly who I thought they were, man.
Yeah.
Dallas, they not gonna do nothing, man.
I want to give credit, like I say, to Derek Carr and Dak Prescott. They played a hell of a game.
They did.
Yes.
I thought Dak Prescott was amazing. If you look at the numbers, his numbers, I mean, you're gonna say he missed 15 passes, but Derek Carr missed 15 passes as well.
But he still threw for 375.
This is what I was just gonna get to that. 375, a QBR rating of 106. That's a great game. 2 touchdowns, a clutch touchdown to Dalton Schultz over the middle. Now his receivers, you can tell he missed CeeDee Lamb in this game. His receivers and tight ends dropped a busload of passes. I mean, Cedric Wilson, the pass over the middle that could have kept the drive alive. I know you was always taught. If anybody was always taught, you always heard.
Hold on, time out, Dante. Whoever's saying this, you need to get up out of here. Because me and Freddie had more faith in your team than you. Y'all said, "Oh, don't do it." No, get out of here.
That's Coach Spotlight.
Get out of
here. Dak Prescott was impressive yesterday.
I mean, Cedric Wilson dropped a pass instead of catching the ball first. He ran. He was trying to hurry up and catch it and run. He ends up coming off his chest. Dalton Schultz dropped the pass.
But Elliott dropped the pass. But coach, in overtime,
that's Dak Prescott's fault. Now I was going to get to that. That's his fault.
Okay.
That should have been a bad throw. That throw should have been in front of him. That was the only throw he made. That was a bad throw. I already knew that was coming. I was going to touch on that anyway. That's the only bad throw he had. That was the only bad throw he had. Now the throw to Michael Gallup to the end zone. Michael Gallup tripped. He tripped on that. The ball was thrown where it's supposed to be thrown. Michael Gallup tripped. But the only bad throw that he had was that pass right out to Brown. That pass should have been out in front of him. Brown, that was not Brown's fault. That Prescott, that should have been a better pass.
Absolutely.
Right there. And Michael Parsons, my goodness, he almost raked the game. He almost raked the Raiders. He almost raked the game.
He almost won the game for the Cowboys by himself.
Into that penalty by Anthony Brown. That was it. If it wasn't for that penalty, I believe Michael Parsons probably would have wrecked that game.
Yeah. But then we also can say that we also can say that DB lost the game for the Cowboys.
He had 4 penalties. He had 4 penalties. He had 4 penalties.
Four
penalties. If I'm his coach, I'm pulling him to the side and we're having a conversation. Because that is unacceptable.
That's
unacceptable.
That's huge.
But I mean, you don't. That's not a conversation. You need to sit the dude.
You can't.
You need to make him miss offensive. You need to make him miss a couple sets.
You can't, Brian.
You have to.
But the game is too close. I'm listening.
I understand it's close, but you need to sit him because if you're making the same mistakes over, I can't talk to you. Talking is not going to do nothing.
Yeah, but
you
then
need
you
to
jeopardize
you're
your chances of winning the game.
You're gonna have to miss a whole defensive set or two, and then when I look at you, I'm looking at you saying, "Are you done?" And if I don't get an answer, you're staying your ass on the bench because he was more of a harm than he was a help.
Let me ask you this though, Pot. If you switch him out, right, or you have a guy who can take his spot, do you really want to put that guy out there at that critical moment right there?
Yes, and the reason why, the reason why, you need to make a point. You need to make a point because the problem with Dallas this year, which is what stupid people don't want to hear, they when the morons out there who don't know what they're like, don't know football, they don't want to admit this. Dallas is undisciplined.
Very.
Exactly.
They're an extremely undisciplined team. And here we are, 11 games in? and you guys are still making the same ridiculous
bonehead mistakes.
That's why they're not going to win a playoff game. They'll
That's
get
right.
there.
They're not
going to win a playoff game.
So
they're
from
not.
time to
Playing
time,
like that, they're not.
I understand like from here,
They're not.
here and again, they're gonna get a defensive penalty. But the same dude getting 4, at some point you're gonna have to sit him down for a set and say, look, I don't care if we win or lose. I don't care. I gotta make a point. Because this sloppy gameplay that we all doing is not gonna work.
It's not.
They think they're gonna make some noise in the playoffs. The only noise they're gonna make is them moving their luggage and getting.
And all of them, if Dallas Cowboys fans want to complain, yesterday they were obvious holding calls. They were obvious. Clearly, they were obvious.
Yo, there was one where he got grabbed and it's grabbing him the whole play. The ball gets thrown, he's still holding. They throw the flag and he was like, I'm like, Finn, if you're telling me in my face that you didn't think I was holding when you're literally holding him the whole time, you can see the jersey, you're an idiot. I was seeing downturns.
Even on that pass interference play, when he didn't, when you always talk to look for
the ball, find the ball.
Yes.
You look at the start of that play, he was grabbing him at the start of the play.
Beginning.
At the beginning of the play, he was already holding him. Then he was panicked. Plus, he panicked because he couldn't see the ball.
He got beat.
Then he had his arm cuffed upon him. It made it seem like he started doing this at the end. Made it seem like he wasn't doing. He was holding them from the beginning of the play. Soon the play thought he was holding them. He was already holding them.
You know, guys, we've talked about how the Cowboys boast great defense, but the defense they cost them yesterday.
Yeah, the defense is great. The defense not that great, man.
If I was Micah Parsons,
penalties on the day for a total of 166 yards, that is unacceptable.
If I was Michael Parsons, I would be so upset, bro. Because Michael Parsons,
because he played a hell of a game.
He was balling out.
Man, he almost wrecked the game.
Oh yeah,
he almost wrecked the game.
He was single-handedly dominating for that defense.
He was
on that defense.
He was.
Everyone deserves blame, and everyone deserves to run suicide. The only person who doesn't deserve it is Michael Parsons. And matter of fact, if I'm on that team to be a dickhead, guess what I'm doing? Hey, yo, Michael, here's a seat, here's a table. What do you want to eat? Oh, you haven't had breakfast yet? We got the gourmet chef. Let us know what you want. We'll cook it up. And by the way, guys, y'all ain't gonna stop running until he finishes eating, finishes drinking, and it passes through his system. Keep playing with me.
And whenever something,
bro. And I feel bad for the kid because he handled his business. He single-handedly kept that defense in the game, and it was.
Didn't he break a record last night?
I think he did.
I thought he broke something regular because every time, like I say, you look, Derek Carr dropped back. That man was in his face all day long, every play.
Hold on. Did he get?
You know what?
Michael Parsons was like 1 away from getting like the record for sacks by a
sacks. I think it was sacks for a rookie. I think it was sacks for a rookie. Yeah.
Right, and when things go wrong for the Cowboys, we need to stop placing blame on Dak Prescott because he's doing.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, that's what they always. That's what people always do.
Here's the thing:
he was stupendous. He made throws down the field. He placed them perfectly in his receiver's arms. It was their fault that they couldn't make the plays because they can't catch them. They got butterfingers. I don't know what's going on, but
there were a couple like his tight end. He had his tight end, and it was a good ball. I don't know. I guess he didn't want it. I guess
they're not reliable. They're dropping everything, and it's not.
Okay, so he set the Cowboys rookie record.
The record. That's it. I thought it was. Yeah, he did. He said it. Yep.
Yeah,
I thought so.
I mean, Cedric Wilson. He threw Cedric Wilson a dime.
He did.
And Cedric Wilson dropped him. It hit him right in the chest, and he dropped. That's
where. But like you said, that's where he was missing CD. And what? Yeah, that them.
And Amari Cooper right there. That's why.
Yeah, he's missing his receivers for sure. And it showed in yesterday's game. Amari Cooper and CD Lamb. I wonder how different this game would have been had CD Lamb.
Way different. Way different. Way different. They probably would have won this game. They probably would have because this is a game that they should have won. When it's all said and done, this is a game that they were supposed to beat Oakland. I mean, Las Vegas. They supposed to beat Las Vegas. There's no question. They supposed to beat them. So if you have Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb in the lineup, I feel like they'd have won this game without question.
But Derek Carr was on a mission for his team yesterday.
He was.
Yeah, he put that team on his back. He put that team on his back.
He made some perfect throws downfield.
Derek Carr. People sleep on Derek Carr. I don't know why. I don't know why they try to.
I don't know.
Hey, he got beat up. I got to give it to Derek Carr.
That's his brother. But Derek Carr is the truth, bro.
I got to give it to him, man. That dude got beat up. Man.
He took a hitting, but he threw for 307.
Yeah, he almost hurt his neck.
He was only 2 yards, 3 yards short. Or 3 yards short from Dak. Yep. He played amazing.
He played good.
And here's the thing about Derek Carr. Why he slept on? I know why he slept on. I'll be honest with you.
Because it's his brother.
No.
That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons.
You want to know why I legitimately believe he gets slept on? The Raiders have been trying to trade Derek Carr for literally the year before they got Derek Carr. They've been trying to trade him. I don't know what it is with him. They drafted him, and he immediately was like, "Yeah, let's see what we can give him." And he's gotten better. They doubled down on the trading. They keep saying, "Oh, we want him." Then John Gruden came. When John Gruden came, this is why I'm saying he's an idiot, and this is why I say I genuinely believe he's extremely overrated, and everyone, they just want. Bro, I'm not a John Gruden fan. I think he's an average coach with a big mouth, and the big mouth is kind of what lures his mystique. That's why I genuinely believe. And he out here wanted to pretend to be a GM. And what did he do? He traded to go get Marcus Mariota, a guy that he loved.
Who scored last night? Who scored? Who got in the end zone last night?
Congratulations.
Yeah, he did get in the end zone last night.
He traded for him. The reason he traded for him, Mike's like, hey, just pop it in to see if Nagy's gone. No? Okay, sad face. But they traded for Marcus Mariota because they wanted to get rid of Derek Carr. And when they got Mariota, they thought, yeah, Derek Carr's not out the door. Then all of a sudden, John Gruden is like, yeah, I don't know why no one respects him. It's about time he gets his respect. I'm like, don't you think he would have gotten respect if you, your mother, your uncle, your father, your cousin's best friend's neighbor's uncle who trims the hedges for the dog, whose owner owns a boutique, whose best customer is a lady who works at a tech firm? Don't you think if everyone wasn't trying to trade this dude, don't you think he would have gotten his respect by now? I think that's the biggest reason. I think the biggest reason is just the fact that if you're always trying to get rid of a dude, why should anybody care? Why should anybody respect him, so to speak?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it makes people think he's a less value quarterback. I can see that. But the Raiders, man, they looked good yesterday, and they held it together after they lost Darren Waller, their best player, arguably.
Yeah, the Cowboys, they are cowboying right now. They're doing what they normally do. That cowboying, that's the new word. It was, look, Dak played good, but
we all know Cowboys November is not Cowboys month. We all know that.
Yeah, right, exactly. And Mike McCarthy cannot coach. I think we finally figured that out now. Mike McCarthy can't coach.
But he's a yes man, so that's why he's there.
Yeah,
that's why. Yeah,
and that's why.
Hey, and you know what? Greg, I'm glad you said that.
What's his name? Will love him.
Greg.
Yes.
I'm glad you brought up Mike McCarthy. Now these two could have made these two plays that I looked at in the game could have made a big ass difference.
Okay.
You tell me why Oakland gets the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr throws a laser down the middle to Darren Waller. He clearly caught it, and he clearly made a football move.
Mm-hmm.
You forced the fumble. Number 27, Kurtz, made a great play to stop him from going out of bounds, and it hits number 18, KZ. Tell me why Mike McCarthy didn't challenge that when it was clearly a fumble. The dude clearly caught the ball over the middle, made a football move. He didn't challenge.
That right.
And then the Oakland Raiders up 17-6. They got all the momentum in the world. You kick a 59-yard field goal.
No, knowing he's gonna miss.
Knowing he's gonna miss. That
No.
wasn't a good move at all.
Greg Zuerlein, listen to the Greg Zuerlein.
Hold on, I'll be honest. I was confused. Don't get it twisted. I was confused. When he kicked it, he actually had the power. He must have done it in practice enough for Mike McCarthy to give him a chance because he had the power. He was just slightly off to the point that he doinked it, but he had the power.
I mean, he had the power. It doesn't mean that was a good call, though. It doesn't mean that was not a good call.
I think it was.
He did the same. No, I don't think it was.
A good call is not based on the end result. That's not what it is. That you can't do that because a lot of times, guess what?
Because if he'd have made it, Pride, it would have been a good call. Right?
No.
I mean, that's
what everybody would have said. Everybody would have said it
seemed like a good call. That would have made it seem like a good call if he'd have made it, but that wasn't a good call. When the Raiders was having momentum, and you kick a 59-yard field goal, the same field goal that he missed against Tampa Bay, and it cost him in week 1. That same kick.
Yep. That's terrible play calling.
That's a terrible call right there. I wouldn't have made that.
These dudes about made me defend Dallas. Jason Garrett would have punted the ball, and guess what? Everyone would have killed him because, you need to be aggressive. You need to get momentum back, even if it's just 3 points. Mike McCarthy does it. He had to be passing. You see? Mike McCarthy can't ever win. And listen, if in practice he was doing those kicks, he must have done something for Mike McCarthy to think that.
Right.
He must be hitting those in practice. I guarantee you, kind of like what the Chiefs did for Harrison Butker. Every time I say his name, it was a practice. I think it was like a 60-yarder. Greg, you might have seen this clip where he said, "Bro, if you make it, we all get to go home early."
Yeah,
yes, sir.
I saw that.
And I'm gonna tell you this right now: Greg Zerling probably has a top 5 leg in terms of kicker. I mean, I believe Justin Tucker's got the best leg in the league, but in terms of power, Zerling is in there. He's in that conversation. He's, you know what I mean? Like. So with all that combined, I understand. And yeah, like I said, Zerling has the biggest leg in the league. The kick wasn't a bad idea. The play call leading up to it was bad. If you want to say that, sure. But here's my thing: in basketball, right? In basketball,
what was the down? What was the down, Pride of Dante? What was it? 4th and what?
It was
4th and a million.
Okay.
I didn't see that part. I and the defense was for Dallas was actually okay because the drive before that, the reason why they only scored because Mike McCarthy didn't even challenge the fumble. Dallas would have been up. At least 14-10-0 if he challenged it.
But even if he challenged it, I don't think he would have gotten it.
I think he would.
Who was I think it was Gene Steratore that they had, and he was like, yes, he didn't take 3 steps, so it wasn't, you know what I mean? It was some explanation that he had given where he was like, if you basically go to the replay booth, they're all gonna say, it was an incomplete pass. And it was something about like the way he was holding it.
But we also got to keep this in mind when it comes to those challenge flags and stuff like that. They have people in the booth who relay it down to the coaches and say, hey, no, don't pull that flag. Don't pull that flag because they're not going to get it.
The same thing.
Yeah, they got people that tell them that. So.
Originally,
I know. I mean, like, I understand about that, but for my eyes and everybody's eyes, that was clearly a fumble right there.
Yeah, I understand what you're
saying. And I understand that, but more than that, the guys up in the booth, they could replay it. They could see it over and over, and they could look deeper before they go and say it. So I think they saw something. It was like, Mike, don't do it.
Don't throw it. Yeah.
Either A, they were like, yeah, it's an incomplete pass, or B, they didn't see enough proof for them to overturn it, because that's how the officials do it. If there's not enough proof to overturn it, if it's way too close, we keep the call as is.
It stays. But not only that, you got to keep in mind, and I know you know this, Coach, and all y'all probably know the same thing. At this point, when it's a game that close, you got to save them challenge flags.
Yes.
You never know when you may need that joke.
Wasn't it the first quarter?
Yeah, it was. I think it was first quarter.
Oh yeah, so you gotta say them. You gotta say them.
Yeah, you gotta say them. Honest, like, yeah, you probably want to do it before. Oh, we know they probably like, yeah, we thought it was a fumble, but we gonna need this later down the road.
Might need it later. You
know what I mean? And again, like, it is what it is. I'm gonna say this. I don't think that the kick was a bad idea. I don't think so. I don't know. I didn't
see the kick. I don't know. I was on the plane at the time, so I can't say about that.
It was a 59-yarder. He had the power. He literally, when he kicked it, it hooked right.
What was the score at the time?
It was 17-6, I believe.
I think so.
The Raiders were up 17-6.
So it would have been 17-9 if they'd have made it.
Yeah,
it would have been 17-9 if they would have made it, but the ball also put them in
good position. Las Vegas.
That's the risk you have to take, because here's the thing.
I think I'd have punted that.
I would have punted.
Yeah,
I would have. I definitely would have punted it.
I would have punted it, because the thing is, you guys are saying it based on the result.
Right.
When I'm making a decision, like if you tell me it failed, okay, cool. But was it still a good idea? There are plenty of good ideas out there that fail. It doesn't mean it's the wrong decision.
No, I was saying it was a bad idea when he came out there.
But then again, you think
so did, because I put it on Facebook. I put it on Facebook. That was a bad idea.
Then again, I'm going off what Coach saying too. If you kick I understand in a way. I kind of understand why you kick the field goal, because if you Mike McCarthy, you kind of feel like my defense is good. I feel like my defense is good enough. Even if we do miss it, I feel like my defense can stop them enough to stop them from scoring any points. So because I feel like
they weren't getting the penalty flags like that yet. Like at the time, they weren't penalty heavy yet.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So you thinking even if we miss, they might have good field position, but as good as our defense is playing and well as our defense can play, I feel like we'll take this chance. You know what I'm saying? Everything is about a chance. You know what I'm saying? We know the game is about inches. So it's a chance in which you take, and you just hope that it works out for the best for you.
Yep. And at the end of the day, like I said, they did what they did, but at the end of the day, Dallas did Dallas, and that's kind of what their story.
Yeah, like Greg said,
Cowboys.
I don't want to hear nothing, and I want to hear something. I don't want to hear nothing about the injuries. I don't want to hear no excuses like that.
What injury?
For the Cowboys with Amari being out. And
they still should have won.
But I don't want to hear any of that. You want to know why?
They shoot themselves in the foot. They make too many mistakes.
Exactly.
Yep.
They do every year.
They still had a shot. They still had a shot to win.
For them to come back,
especially this time in the year,
for them to come back in that game and tie it up, lets you know they could have won that game.
Yes.
it was winnable.
That's what it comes down to. I'm not. If it was like a shootout. Okay,
it was right in their hands.
Right in their hands.
Yeah,
that's the only reason Dak Prescott got 15 incomplete passes, because most of the balls were right there in their hands. Yes. Most of the balls were literally right there in their hands, and they just let them go. They just dropped them.
Drops. It happened.
That goes back to saying that the Cowboys don't play smart football.
They don't.
Is that the coaching?
That's coaching. When you get penalized four times by the same player, and then you're jumping off sides on special team, that's a coaching issue. That's a coaching issue.
That is. Question.
That's a coaching issue.
That's a question.
Penalties and stuff like that. Penalties and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's undisciplined, and that's a coaching issue.
And it also falls on the defensive coordinator as well.
Yes.
Because all of this is happening mostly on defense.
Yeah, that's the thing. Most of it is on defense, and those are drive killers. Those are drive killers.
Right. And again, here's the thing. How many times was it like a 3rd and 10?
I mean, it allowed the Raiders to get in good field position.
What was possession time?
Capitalized on all those mistakes.
It was a lot.
The Vegas had the ball almost 40 minutes to Dallas 26.
Yeah, and you
that right there shows you. The penalties right there shows you. Yep.
It was the penalty. Because
that right there shows you. Good Lord, 40 minutes?
Yeah, Bishop, it was bad. They would go in like 3rd and 10, 3rd and 7, and then they'll do a penalty. Then they'll go back to another 3rd and 6.
That's crazy.
Another penalty. Then they'll bring them up. Like, there were possessions where these guys were going, like the Raiders were going backwards, and the penalties is what pushed them to get the first down. They were running the ball 3 times in a row with Josh Jacobs, and he would get a good pickup, but in the end it would turn like 3rd and 5. Penalty, move them up, get them a first down. They did the same thing. Penalty, move them up, get them a first down.
Hey, Pride, and y'all know what's crazy?
That's crazy.
Guess what? Michael Parsons gets you a sack, the biggest sack of the game. But guess what?
Biggest sack of the game.
Guess what? And guess what after that? A 3rd and 18 penalty. That was on a 3rd and 18.
Pass interference. Yep.
You get a pass interference penalty.
That's when Michael Parsons broke the record, the rookie record on that sack.
That was a 3rd and 18.
That was that sack. Yeah.
the individual accolade is nice, but I'm sure they wanted to win more.
But like you said earlier, Jonathan, though, Las Vegas needed it more.
They did.
They needed that win more than Dallas.
They needed it more. And
they definitely needed it more. They definitely needed more.
AFC West.
They played like it too. They played like it.
And I said this yesterday. If they lose this game, they have a chance. But it's too hard of a road, and what they've been through, I don't know if they would be able to do it.
And you know what? It was a collective effort.
Oh,
it was a collective
effort. That's why I
worked
for them, because I was like, if I genuinely believe they'll be able to do it. I genuinely believe they were going to be able to do it. They handled their business. Now let's see if they can keep it up.
And it was a collective effort from the Raiders. I mean, Deshaun Jackson scored his first
100. He had 100 yards with 3 receptions.
With Vegas, right? And he caught a 56-yard pass from Carr to put the Raiders on the board early in the first quarter. I felt like that set the tone. And then you get Hunter Renfrow, who had 102 receiving yards. And I mean, they just looked really, really good.
They were good. They were better. They were better. They wanted it more than Dallas. They were better than Dallas receiving.
I apologize. Deshaun Jackson had 102 receiving yards.
Everybody on the Raiders was receiving core, made plays, and were productive.
And also that also brings up another good point.
Even Josh Jacobs was good.
We're starting the defense for their penalty. And you know what else they did a horrible job at? Tackling. That Deshaun Jackson play should have never have happened. They don't know how to tackle. There have been plenty of the plays that should have stopped at like a 3-yard gain, but broke up for a first down.
There was a lot of missed tackles.
Not just the penalty, poor tackling.
Missed tackles and blown opportunities for sure.
Yep. Right. Because you missed really 2 tackles on that play. Like Pryor said, you missed a tackle when he caught the ball, then you missed a tackle going down the sideline.
When he could have pushed him out of bounds. You don't even.
When he could have pushed him out of bounds. He could have pushed him out of bounds.
Yeah.
Yep.
He ain't big.
Poor ain't big. He's fast. They did everything. Dallas did everything. Poor tackling, poor angles. Number 27. Curse on Zay Jones. That was a poor ass angle.
It's not poor. Horrible.
Yeah, I mean, poor. Horrible, poor. However the hell we all gonna call it. It was both. It was both. Whatever you want to put. That was a terrible. That was just an awful, god awful angle by Curse, man, on Zay Jones on that screen. That was horrible. That was just horrible and terrible, man.
It also looked like literally every single time they caught the ball, whoever was covering him would kind of go, all right, not my job anymore. He caught it. And almost
the Cowboys
back. And it's like, wait a minute, you got 2 jobs. You cover him, but when he catches it, you still got to tackle him. Don't let the man run. You still got to hunt him down. And it's almost like, nah, bro, I got a safety up top. Oh, wait, he's not there. Oh, let me go get him. Too late. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, Coach McCarthy, y'all let him do something. Y'all talking about the missed field goal. They missed the field goal. I got flashbacks. Because guess what Coach McCarthy doing? It's all right, guys.
Coach
Crowd. I call flashbacks. I thought Jason Garrett got a job already. I got scared, man. I was like, wait a minute. Whoa, Coach Clapp. I was like, well, you gained weight? What's going on? Hey, you got a beard? What's going on? Rub my eyes. Oh, that's right, McCarthy. And then for this one, what do you feel about the stupid false start penalty on the Raiders and the offense line of Bob was at? Though I understand he was just kind of just chilling.
It still draws the defense.
It's still unfortunately. It
is what it is. Yeah,
it is. You know what I mean? Because the only time you're allowed to look is if you're looking up at guys or if you're looking backwards to hear the play.
Right.
If you're kind of just doing that,
you're
gonna get flagged for it. You're just going to, because in the ref's mind, he doesn't know you're bobbing your head. He doesn't know he doesn't know that.
Right.
In his mind, he just thinks that it's a
intentional movement.
I mean, again, I agree that it was stupid, but at the end of the day, it is a rule.
You can't allow it, though. You can't allow it.
Exactly. You can't allow it because then
everybody will do it. Everybody.
They're going to start doing it, and then they're going to fall back on I was just bobbing my head, guys, and now you're opening up a whole issue.
Yep.
Now it's a whole thing. You know what I mean?
And also,
Go ahead, Greg.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. Also, looking at the rest of the schedule for the Cowboys, I only see them winning 2 more games.
What 2 games are those?
They'll beat the Saints because Trevor Siemian sucks, and then they'll beat the Giants because Daniel Jones sucks. Other than that,
I like that, Greg. I like that, Greg. I like that.
I don't think we can get a good thing on Daniel Jones because
I like that, Greg.
Play calling is horrible. But let's see. So they got the Saints. Wait, hold on. You got the Washington football team beating Dallas twice?
Yeah, I was about to ask about that
right now.
I was about to ask about that. I think they're gonna even out. I think they're gonna win one and lose one.
That's still
they're gonna split that.
So
if the Eagles winning too.
If the Eagles win out,
Eagles gonna win at home.
Eagles win out, they can win the NFC East.
We're gonna win at home. We're gonna win that game at home. Yeah, we're gonna win that game at home.
The Cowboys can lose the NFC.
You got to remember,
Prime. Yeah, Eagles in second right now. Eagles in second place right now.
Yeah, they got better.
Yeah, Eagles in second.
They just turned it on a little bit late, but they're starting to feel themselves.
Speaking of which, hold on. I know this game was last Sunday. And we was talking about ankles and all of that. But did you see the ankles that Jalen Hurts broke on that run?
Jalen Hurts is nice.
Yo, Bishop. He was snatching, baptizing, exasperated. He was being extremely disrespectful.
I thought he was playing basketball. The way he broke the ankle, I was like, "Oh, that crossover on him." I thought it was Kyrie out there for a second, but no, man. We know it wasn't Kyrie though because he ain't playing no type of ball. But anyway, that's a whole different story.
What's going on?
Yeah, that's a whole different story. But we got to get to this Bills and Saints game real quick.
Yes. Bills and Saints, which made me, I don't want to be that guy, but it made me laugh. People were saying the Bills, I'm going to tell you why. The Bills are washed up. The Saints, their defense is a problem. The Saints have a better defense. What about offense? The defense is just so great.
Greg said it.
But the defense.
Simeon.
But offense is the defense. 31-6. Josh Allen, apparently, Bishop, Josh Allen is not good. He's a game manager.
That's what they say. That's the word on the street.
These are the same people who've never watched a Buffalo game ever. So it's kind of like, I don't know how you can say that if you don't watch the guy, right? He went 22-28, 206 yards, 4 touchdowns, threw 2 picks, which I didn't like, which goes back. However, they were starting to run the ball a little more. Devin Singletary had 15 touches for 44 yards, and Matt Breida had 9 touches for 26 yards.
Josh had 8.
Josh Allen.
He had 8 touches for 43, 5.5 yards a carry.
Yeah. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, Stephon Diggs had a solid game, 7 receptions, 74 yards. Can we talk about the touchdown he had when he literally?
Oh my God! He took Marshawn to school. That boy took him to school all night long.
That's nothing new. Marshawn.
Oh my goodness!
Burnt by a lot of people.
Marshawn, that boy took Marshawn Lattimore to school. Man, that dude did a quick hesitation. That dude went in, and then after he went in, you just almost when he went out, Marshawn Lattimore. Man, you can just see his knee almost snap, bro. I thought his knee had snapped in half after he went out. And then he caught the touchdown, and then he booted the kick into the crowd. Boy, he made it look. He put some sauce on that motherfucker. That guy. Yes.
Hold on. Here's a question. Do you think the Saints should start Taysom Hill next week against Dallas?
They paid the man $90 million. They paid him like he's a quarterback.
Yes, so, he needs to start.
I mean, why not? I'm guessing that's why they invested that much on him.
No one wants to respect him.
What can he hurt?
What can he hurt?
They're heading towards that.
And by the way, Bishop, you know who was saying that? You know who one person was saying that? We have him right here, Jonathan.
He said what?
That Josh Allen isn't all that. That he's.
I never said he wasn't all that. I just said that he took a step back. That's all I said. I never disrespected him in any way. I like Josh Allen.
How is that not disrespectful?
Personally honest with you, I like him.
Josh Allen.
I just said that he's had a few bad.
I like Josh Allen. I
think
Josh
ain't
Allen
all
was
that,
good.
but he cool.
I mean,
Josh Allen is cool. I like Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen. I think he's good.
That's cool. Is he Super Bowl good? I don't know.
He's better than Trevor Siemian. That's for damn sure.
I'm better than Trevor Siemian, so that's not even.
He said he better.
You know what? This game showed that things changed a lot since Drew Brees retired. I mean, and what it tells me too is that they desperately miss Drew Brees, but he won't be coming back. So I mean,
absolutely,
they got to move on. They got to find a new quarterback. They got to turn this offense over to Taysom Hill. Let him be the starting quarterback.
You talking about turn it over to him right now? In other words, not when Jameson come back.
Next week he's getting started.
I mean, the Saints lost one game with Taysom Hill only. Last year, they lost one game with Taysom Hill. That was it.
They only lost one game with
it's looking bad for the Saints, though. They fell to 5-6.
Trey was with me on this one. Trey was with me because I think it was just him and I agreeing on this because everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Josh Allen, he's not good."
That was Trey. That was Trey. Trey
was backing me up on this. And
I made a whole video on Josh Allen. I think he's legit. I think he's legit. I mean, like it was kind of like with Jalen Hurts. It's kind of like it's kind of like he remind me of Jalen Hurts. How we started this year. You remember we wasn't running the football at all, and then now we're running. We have that running game, and now you can start seeing Jalen Hurts' game come out a little bit more. Now that's what you seen last night in Josh Allen.
Yeah,
and he's starting to peak at the right time along with that Eagles offense and defense.
Somebody said this, and this is what I saw.
And Darius Slay, man.
Somebody said that the reason Josh Allen isn't that guy is because he doesn't have that coming out moment.
Oh, he talking about Freddie.
Was it him that said it? I don't know who said it.
Yeah, that was Freddie. That was Freddie.
But what is a coming out moment? What does that mean? What is
a defined moment? A defined moment.
Which I think is stupid because every single year he's gotten better. And when I said that, nobody wanted to talk about it. Nobody wanted to talk about it anymore. When I said that, nobody wanted to have a conversation with me anymore. All of a sudden, I was public enemy number one. I don't know. But again, I'm not under the belief of you need a defining moment. I don't believe that. This is an NBA 2K. What was it? 15 when they let you do that? No, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. Are you getting better? He is.
I mean, just looking at the pros that do
he's getting better, but the Saints are getting worse.
Hold on. What's the Bills' weakness? Offense or defense? If I gotta pick one, I'm gonna say offense. It is because their inability to run the ball.
Yep.
You need some time. And by the way, Bishop, that's another thing. Somebody here said, "Oh, if you need him to run the ball, that means he's not that guy."
Yeah, I said that. If you need, listen.
Like at some point, Bishop,
don't agree with that.
When Josh Allen win a game, can you be like, okay, Josh, run a game ain't do it. You got to do it now. And if he can't do that, then he's not that guy.
Look, I know what Josh Allen is capable of doing in the regular season. I want to see what he can do in the playoffs.
Yeah, because the AFC Championship didn't do nothing.
He just went to the AFC Championship.
He didn't do nothing in that game. He didn't do nothing in that game.
I get that, and I give it to him. He did. But let's see if he could get this team to the
Super Bowl.
Oh, my
God. Let's see if he can do it again. So now we're going to – and I said this yesterday, Bishop. We're going to try to judge –
And that's no disrespect to him,
We're going to sit here and try to judge Josh Allen on playoffs, on this year's playoffs, when they haven't even come yet. Let that sink in.
And then you got to get this, man. You got to give Josh Allen some time, too, because that was only his second season, and many people don't make it to the AFC Championship.
It was last year.
That was his second season. Last year was basically his second season. Third season. When most quarterbacks don't get teams to the AFC Championships that much.
Right. But that game before, when they beat Baltimore in that playoff game, it wasn't because of Josh Allen. Josh Allen sucked that game. Their defense won that game. Their defense won that game.
Hold on. Talking about the
game before. They do have the top-ranked defense.
Talking about the game before. Talk to me about the game before. Because as much as I love that man, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., that is my GOAT, and I adore him. He is like none other. I will look you dead in your face and tell you he was not the reason that we won the Super Bowl when we played the Rams.
Of course.
So because of that one game, does that mean that he's garbage? Does that mean he's overrated?
Tom Brady had already won games with the horrible defense before.
Right, let's talk about last night's game.
Wow.
Let's talk about last night's game.
Like, nah. Oh, see the conversation. See, Bishop? Conversation didn't get, all of a sudden didn't get no fun. All of a sudden, we're doing this wrong. The conversation is not fun no more. It's not fun no more. That's wild to me. I will never understand it.
I mean, give credit where credit's due, man. Josh Allen.
No, but I like him.
He did good.
He's dog shit.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback.
Bro,
No one ever said he wasn't good.
No. I'm not saying Josh Allen is trash.
No, I'm not saying that. No.
No one ever said that. I don't think anybody in this panel thinks he's trash.
Is Josh Allen okay? Hold on. Is Josh Allen better than?
I just said I see him drop off in production.
Is Josh Allen better than Justin Herbert?
Yes.
Oh
hell no.
Yes.
Yes, he is. Are you serious?
Oh,
serious right now, Greg? Greg, are you serious, Greg?
Justin Herbert.
You don't think Josh Allen better than Justin Herbert?
You said, do I think Josh Allen better than Justin Herbert?
Yeah.
Yes, he'll come to more. Yes.
Thank you.
Josh Allen is better. Josh Allen is better.
Coach, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question.
The thing is with Justin Herbert, he caught on really fast. That's the thing with Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Josh Allen this year, has he not played like a top 5 quarterback?
He has some inconsistencies.
I'm talking about overall.
Overall?
You saying top 5? You said top 5?
I don't know. No, I don't think he played like a top 5 quarterback. But guess what? I think Josh Allen is a very good quarterback. I think he's a great quarterback.
So who's played
I don't think he played top 5 though, huh?
Who's your top 5 then, Coach D?
Who my top 5 is? Okay. I got Aaron. I got Patrick Mahomes. I got Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
I got Tom Brady. I got Aaron Rodgers.
That's 3.
Okay,
now this
I got Deshaun Watson. I got Deshaun Watson when he's healthy. He's proven.
He ain't even playing.
You said top 5. You talking about right now? This year?
Yeah, right
now. Okay. You said top 5. Okay. If Deshaun Watson was playing, he easily make my top 5.
Oh yeah, no, I want
you there. He's better than Josh Allen. I got him. He's better than Josh Allen.
Absolutely.
All right. So I got So I got to put another quarter. I got to put
and that's where
because Russell Wilson is not even good this year.
He's not playing good this year.
You have to go with Allen and Herbert. You have to go with Allen and Herbert right there.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked that question.
You have to go with Allen and Herbert
after them first three. I
thought y'all was just talking about top 5, literally, not this year. I thought y'all was top 5.
No, after those first
Deshaun Watson was.
I like Deshaun Watson. I think he's
without question.
Deshaun Watson is an elite quarterback.
He's a top 3 guy.
Without question.
He's not playing. So
okay. Now you tell me he's not playing. I knew it now.
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't.
Hold on. So y'all put Josh Allen before Lamar?
Huh? Yes.
No. Stop that.
Y'all put Josh. Hold on, Brian. Y'all put Josh Allen before Kyler Murray?
Huh?
No.
Josh Allen before Kyler
Murray?
Yeah. That one's close.
I'm gonna tell you this.
But to me, that was close.
I'm gonna tell you this about Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna tell you this, and everybody can agree. I got Deshaun Watson over Lamar because Deshaun Watson is a better overall quarterback. Lamar, things will set him out. He's a better athlete. He's the better athlete. He's an athlete. He's not a consistent thrower. He's an athlete. He's an athlete. Football. Just like Damian Lillard is better than Westbrook. Basketball. He's a better basketball player.
Yes.
That's the thing that separates them.
And I'm
but what about Kyler Murray, Coach? You didn't say about Coach D. What about Kyler Murray? You put Kyler Murray.
I'm gonna have to give Kyler Murray some more time. I think Josh Allen got the edge over him right now. I think he has the edge over him right now. I got to give Kyler. I think Kyler Murray's gonna be elite though. I think he's gonna be an elite quarterback. He's just having a better season right now. Yeah, he's gonna. I'm not
even saying it based on the time thing. I probably believe right now Josh Allen is better. For me though, that's close. If you put Kyler Murray over Josh Allen, that's not wild. What's wild is trying to put Herbert. As much as I love Justin Herbert, I got him on my fantasy. Put Justin Herbert over Josh Allen. Like, come on.
No, I don't agree with
But
that.
I think Herbert's gonna be a beast, though. I think Herbert's gonna be a beast, but I don't got him over Josh Allen.
You put Justin Herbert on that
Allen.
Buffalo team, I bet you Buffalo make the Super Bowl with Justin Herbert.
And guess what? If you put Josh Allen, if you put Josh Allen in that LA team, you say Justin Herbert would win the Super Bowl. Guess what? Josh Allen in that LA team, that's a dynasty. So what are we really talking about? Now what are we talking about?
He said that's a dynasty.
And then actually the thing that sets off, you got Stephon Diggs over there in Buffalo. You put Josh Allen on the Chargers. You got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams over there. You got a running game. And you got a running game that they use over there. So that's even better for Josh Allen. You put him over there. Maybe even better.
Yeah, because not only
even better for him.
He can catch the ball too.
Yes.
Like they be lining him out in the
They got two good running backs, Roundtree and Egler.
Yeah.
And then you got tight ends, and then you got Cook and good tight ends. So you might be doing them even better. You might be doing them even better favor. And plus he can zone read and run the ball.
I'm telling you right now, bro. I've never understood this whole thing about, oh yeah, he needs that defining moment. I've never in my life heard that. Because LeBron James, before he came in the league, guess what? He didn't have a defining moment. And people were still saying he was a hell of a player. Damian Lillard, before he hit that shot, people were saying he was a phenomenal player. Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant. And if you want to go to football, fine. Deshaun Watson, he didn't have that game. He came in and he was immediately put in that pedestal. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes. You want me to continue? Matthew Stafford. Should I keep going? Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. Should I go? You want me to keep going? Ben Roethlisberger. You want one more name? Aaron Rodgers. Do you want me to continue?
You get the gist.
Kyler Murray. One more time? Like, I don't get this whole thing about. And by the way, Damien, yes, that team right now is in contention has a legitimate chance of winning their division. They're here. You put Josh Allen on that team, that's a dynasty. That is a dynasty. That's a dynasty. I don't care what
I'm laughing because he's not going to beat Patrick Mahomes, so never mind. It don't matter.
You had to know prior Greg was coming with that one. You had to know that. You had to know that.
And that's fine. Look, when Josh Allen handles his business, I hope the AFC is a rematch. I really do.
I do too.
I can see that. I see that
too. Because they only won because of turnovers. Let's not forget. If we don't turn over the ball, we would have won that game.
Okay, so if we turn the ball over, who's in charge of turning the ball over?
It was a bad game. It was a bad game. We had a bad game that night. I'll give it to him.
Would you consider that inconsistent, Greg? Is that inconsistency?
Yeah, you can be. That's not.
Yeah, I'm going there, Pride. You know I'm going there, Pride. I'm going there, Pride. I'm going there because somebody says something like that earlier. I'm just saying.
What?
He won the game this season. But when we see him again, it's gonna be a different story. Trust that.
You're right. It's gonna be a different story.
Y'all playing at home or y'all lost at home, right?
We lost. But if we gotta go up there,
at home. Bishop, not Arrowhead. Not Arrowhead. In that cold weather. Josh Allen can't handle cold weather. Meanwhile, he in Buffalo.
I ain't worried. We ain't worried about Josh Allen over here.
And we know about Patrick. Patrick would turn the ball over. That's what we know. That's what we know. You want to talk about that, huh? Okay. Patrick would turn the ball over. Come on, son.
Okay.
Let's go.
Come on.
All right. We 7-4. We good.
Y'all,
so is Buffalo.
I felt like this show has been mostly about quarterbacks. We talked about Jared Goff. Now we're on Josh Allen. Interesting.
Hold on. What did he say?
He said Josh Allen will win back-to-back Super Bowl, something Mahomes couldn't do.
What?
Mahomes already won the Super Bowl.
Mahomes already won the Super Bowl. You can't.
No, he said back-to-back.
No, I just said it don't matter. He does, but he still got it. You can't knock that man for winning a Super Bowl. He got there. At least he got there.
No.
I know what you said.
No, he's not knocking Mahomes. He's just saying that he thinks Josh Allen is better and will be able to win back to back.
I don't see that.
Do y'all think Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes?
No. He's
Look,
right. Patrick Mahomes, I got Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league.
He is, but look, the Chiefs
yeah, thank you, Bishop.
I want to say something. The Chiefs are a defense away from building a dynasty.
Agree.
Agree.
I can agree with that.
Now let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Bishop. What's easier to get? A whole defense or a couple running backs to give you a solid run game? What's easier?
Say what now?
I said because Jonathan said the Chiefs are a defense away from being a dynasty. And I'm saying the Buffalo Bills are a legit run game away from being a dynasty. Now here's my question. Which is easier to get? A whole defense or a couple running backs?
The whole defense.
You said which is easier to get?
It's easier to get just a couple running backs.
You said easier?
I said which easier?
Are good.
Yeah. See, that's hard to answer, Pride. I'm gonna be honest with you because you can pick up running backs at a dime a dozen, but good ones is the question.
And that's all you get. That's all you need. All you need is
the running back position is the most devalued position in the NFL.
They only need a couple good ones. Not great.
Pride, let me ask you. Tell me five good running backs in the NFL right now. 5 good, not great, but just good that you can say.
Devin Singletary and Zach Morris.
Who?
That's how they got two. They got two on the roster. Devin Singletary and Zach Morris.
Who didn't even get over? But neither one of them got over 100. I don't even think either one of them got close to 100 yards.
And in order to get 100 yards, that's great. But you don't need them to be great.
100 yards is not great though. Are you really saying 100 yards is great? 100 yards is not necessarily great. That's a good game, to be honest.
So 100 yards is a good game.
Yeah. And rushing
around the defense.
That's one time down the field. Rushing. That's one time in 4 quarters. That's 25 yards. Hold on, Brian. That's 25 yards a quarter.
It's not hard. It's not easy. It's not easy to get 100 yards every single game, though.
Say that.
It's not easy. It's not easy. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And anytime you rush for over 100 yards, that's just like, so we can say 102 yards not good then for Deshaun Jackson. We can say that then.
That's good.
That's the same thing.
100 yards is great. 100 yards is great.
Is it easier to get 100 yards rushing or easier to get 100 yards receiving?
Receiving?
Which one is easier? Which one is easier? 100 yards rushing
or
100 yards receiving?
Because it will be easier to get the receiving because your offensive line, you can have a bad offensive line.
Right.
You gotta have a good offensive line.
Don't you have to have a good offensive line on both?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, but like I say, when the running back is gonna get both of the carries
for the running back, so he could find his openings.
Yes, you have to find his openings.
You have to have a good offensive line long enough for the quarterback to be able to throw balls down the field too. Yeah, you been dumped for 5 yards too.
You still will have a better shot of doing that though, because your offensive line can hold up against the pass better. Will do a better job of holding up against the pass than more than the run. You know you're gonna have some busted plays on the run game,
right?
It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Maybe some offensive line block better during the pass. A lot of offensive line don't block better during the run. They might just block better during the pass. I mean, that's why I say receivers will be easier to get 100 yards receiving. It'll be easier.
For your question, Pride, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's hard to be honest. I don't know which one would be easier. To be honest, that's a hard question to answer. To be honest with you, whether to get whether to get running backs or defense.
And I'm explaining to you why, Bishop. It's hard based on simple statistics. They really only probably need to, like, honestly, if you want to keep Devin Singletary or Zach Morris, you probably need to get one.
So if you're saying that, Pride, are you saying which team would it be? Buffalo or Kansas City? Which team could possibly get that missing element first?
Yes,
I would have to say Buffalo.
That's what I'm saying.
I would have to say Buffalo.
Buffalo, if you get them in again, they don't have to be the guys you get. It doesn't have to be a prime Adrian Peterson.
Right.
You don't need an all-time great. You need a couple guys can get you 12 to 15 carries, get you about 50 yards, something where when they run the ball,
a role player. You need a role player to be able to get that. Yeah, I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. It's easier to get that rather than have to go, because when you go for the defense, they have a lot of holes they need to fill.
Right.
And on top of that, some of those holes,
I see where you're going with that.
You already got role players filling, and they be in a detriment.
I see what you're saying. Because when it comes to defense, there's more holes to fill compared to just trying to get a running game.
Right. So just based on the numbers alone, it's easier. And now if you look at the talent involved, now it's even worse for the Chiefs. It's even worse.
Facts. I agree. I agree with that. I can agree with that. I'm with you.
Josh Allen is dog shit. 23 for 28, 260 yards, 4 touchdowns. Devin Singletary, he had a couple carries here and there. The Saints, Trevor Siemian, he balled out. Bro. Trevor Siemian, bro, 17 for 29, 163 yards. That dude is a legitimate baller. You put Jared Goff in this offense. Sheesh, amazing numbers.
That's another place. Jared Goff. If you was to put Jared Goff over there with Sean Payton, ooh.
And Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing with the Saints, man. The list of injuries has become too
detrimental
for them to overcome. We saw that yesterday. The Saints couldn't run the ball without Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. They couldn't run the ball.
Nope.
Yeah, it's detrimental over there for the Saints. It's bad with these injuries.
It is. And get this, guys. They hold a losing record for the first time since they started 1-2 in September of 2020.
Right. I know.
And then plus, your star receiver, he's going to be out of New Orleans next year. Michael Thomas, I don't think he's not going to be out. He's not going to last next year. I think he's
Michael Thomas.
He's not.
He just gave up on New Orleans. I think he just gave up on that organization. I think that's going to really put them New Orleans Saints in a tough bind now that Alvin Kamara.
Are you?
That's the second bad comment today.
Bro, if you don't get out of here with that nonsense,
I think Damien is saying this stuff for attention.
I
think he's saying this stuff for attention
because
that's utterly insane.
Wow.
Sean Payton is not an overrated head coach. He has done a terrific job with that offense. And
he's
with
one
that
of the
Saints
top 5 coaches in the NFL right now.
The Saints just are in desperate need of a quarterback.
Yes. That's all. Sean Payton has had Drew Brees his whole team. That's all it is. You
take Sean Payton off his coaching staff. I'm telling you, man.
And you saw the offensive ineptitude that the Saints displayed yesterday. And I mean,
he fixed Jameis Winston, for God's sake.
Yeah, he did.
That part, coach.
He fixed Jameis Winston, for God's sake. Come on, man.
That part.
Yep.
Jameis Winston was having a great season before he got hurt. Come on, man.
Until he got hurt.
Come on, Dane, what you looking at out there?
Bro.
But this team is it's not a good look for them right now because they don't have a quarterback. They're a quarterback away from being that same elite team that we've seen.
Yep.
Yeah,
they got the defense. They got the defense.
Yeah, they just missing.
But like I said, the offensive ineptitude was on display yesterday.
Oh, by the way, yo, BL, you just missed it, bro. I was hype as hell, and then some of you guys were looking trying to make excuses.
Hold on, what did Damon say about Sean Payton has one Super Bowl under his belt? What has he done?
And there's a lot of other great coaches.
Hold on, let me just say one thing.
Let me just say one thing. Belt as well.
Andy Reid got to
exactly. That doesn't make him a bad coach.
Yep.
I want to say one thing real quick. So, Damon, I want you to list me
Pete Carroll
coaches that are better than Sean Payton. Okay.
Pete Carroll should add too. Pete Carroll should add too. If it weren't for that dumb bonus play
call. I want you to put them all, and we'll put it out.
Yeah.
Also, if we're going based on Super Bowls, right now as we speak, Ben Roethlisberger is better than Patrick Mahomes. He's better than Aaron Rodgers. And if that's the route we're going, Matthew Stafford is on the same exact skill level as Trevor Lawrence. And we're just talking about just having only one Super Bowl. If that's the only thing we're talking about,
you know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl?
It's hard.
Yep.
It should be Tom Brady at one to the top 5. Ben Roethlisberger is still a top 5 quarterback.
You know how many coaches are out there that don't have Super Bowls, who have winning records,
and
don't have a Super Bowl?
Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin won 2 though.
Yeah, he got 2.
Marty Schottenheimer had a good regular season track record. He just couldn't get it done.
Win the playoffs.
Yep. But not Sean Payton. The difference is hold on, I'm gonna tell you the difference.
Yeah, tell them the difference, Pride, because I think we told him the difference one time.
Yeah,
I don't believe Doc Rivers is overrated. I think
I believe Doc Rivers is overrated. I believe he's an overrated head coach.
And a lot of you do, but however,
I don't think he's overrated.
I believe he is.
No, I agree. I think Doc Rivers is overrated. I think Doc Rivers is very overrated.
Right, but here's the difference. When they tell me he's overrated, they mention the 3-1 lead. They mention the fact that when things don't go his way, he pouts. They have proof. You're just saying, oh, Sean Payton won Super Bowl. That's it. He's trash. So explain to me his coaching style. Explain to me what he does coachingly. What adjustments does he not make for him to be overrated?
Come on, it was his worst offensive performance it was the worst offensive performance by the Saints in Sean Payton coaching era.
But I'll be honest with you because I saw the game.
The worst. Just one bad performance.
But here's the thing. I blame that mostly on the players. Now, obviously, Sean Payton is the head coach. He's got to wear some of the blame. Let's be honest. But there was a lot of players who I don't know if they were running the wrong route or if Trevor Siemian did not know the playbook.
No, there was a lot of wounded players yesterday.
There were a lot of players.
Running backs out. You had Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. They both were out of this game.
So
insert them into the offense, and you might have had a better chance to keep this game close and possibly even win the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're putting Super Bowls, if we're doing this whole Super Bowl thing, it determines how great quarterback is. So you're telling me that Aaron Rodgers is on the same level as Joe Flacco?
Apparently.
No.
We're going off that, I guess.
No, because
championship doesn't define. Championship doesn't define how great of a player you was or how great of a coach.
Right there, Coach D. That's it right there, Coach D. What you just said.
Here's my thing. I do believe
that's it right there.
But I will say this, and I thought I was in the minority when I said this. Championships are not the end all and be all.
Facts.
They're not.
Yes.
Facts.
Because that Buffalo team that made what? Was it 5 straight Super Bowls? And I think they lost all of them.
4 straight. They lost all of them.
4 straight
Super Bowls. I was just about to say Buffalo.
If you ask anybody, yo, what's an all-time great dynasty? They're mentioned.
Buffalo.
They're mentioned. They say yes.
You have to. They just didn't win. They just couldn't punch the ticket.
Yeah.
They just couldn't punch
So my thing is, you can't just
4 straight Super Bowls and lost all 4 times.
Right, and you can't just look at solely,
and again, that goes back to this. Do you know how hard it is to go back to the 4 straight Super Bowls? You know how difficult that is?
That is a difficult feat.
That's virtually almost impossible.
I mean, hold on, but let's be honest. You know how hard it is to go back to 2? The Chiefs, I'm thinking, went 2, and now the wheels are starting to
You know how hard it is to get to 1?
And that was only 2.
It's even hard to get to 1.
It's
Let
hard.
alone get to 4.
It's hard to get there.
That's why Tom Brady is the GOAT. That's why Tom Brady is considered the GOAT.
No question about it. He is the GOAT.
Yeah, he is the GOAT.
Because of what he's done, his accomplishments.
Right, but
that's why he is on that plateau because of what he's done and because of where he's
yes, he has surpassed every other quarterback on that list
in history.
Even Joe Montana. They can say whatever they want.
And on top of that, I don't even look at his rings. I look at the fact that he leads all time in passing yards and passing touchdowns. You know what I mean? So if you want to take the rings off, I could bring that too. I could talk about his leadership intangibles. I could talk about how Tom Brady can put a spark in everybody. I could talk about the fact that Tom Brady left New England, went to Tampa Bay, reinvented their offense, and now everyone has this great all for one and one for all mentality to the point where when Mike Evans wasn't getting the ball before when Jameis Winston was the quarterback, he was throwing temper tantrums. And
he put that team on the map
that nobody wanted to talk about. Because everyone's so focused on other guys. Tom Brady got there, and guess what? Mike Evans, he can go touchless.
Because of Tom Brady now, there are scouts out there who are now not necessarily looking for prototypical quarterbacks. They're looking for Tom Brady's who don't look like the prototypical quarterback, who ain't all cut up, who ain't all big.
This comment right here proves you're not listening. Because you say if championships don't define you, why have a championship and MVP title? It's the collective unit of all of them. That's the part you're missing.
Me, bro. You losing.
It's a collective unit. I'm saying a championship is not the
See, this is the thing Damian do. Damian do this all the time. Speak this goddamn blasphemous. He do this all the time in every stream. He do this all the time.
No one said championships are meaningless.
I'm gonna put one thing. I'm gonna go a step further, like what Pride said, and then plus Tom Brady say, "Oh, Gronkowski come out of retirement." to join Tom Brady. He come out of retirement. He said, "Go get me Antonio Brown." He told me, "Man, go get me Antonio Brown. Go get me Leonard Fournette."
He's keeping all these egos in check. Let that sink in. The only drama we heard about AB when he got to Pittsburgh, when he got to the Buccaneers was what? But the whole stupid vaccination.
Yep.
The whole fake vaccination card.
We didn't hear anything about the helmet debacle. We didn't hear anything about him wanting to quit on the team.
A word. And by the way, Damien, championships are not meaningless. Again, there's just a case of you not knowing what the word listening means.
That's the whole purpose of the game, is to win championships. We get that's the whole purpose.
It's a collective. When you look at a guy's resume, it doesn't say how many championships he made. No, it shows a completion percentage, all-time yards, all-time touchdowns. It shows that's the MVP, all pros, Pro Bowl. That's what it shows.
Hell, you got players in the Hall of Fame that's never won a championship.
Warren Moon,
Bruce Smith,
Warren Moon. Hey, Warren Moon was great and didn't win a championship. He was awesome.
Let's go.
But again, the championships are not the end all and be all. It is a factor, but to sit here and pretend, if you have 0 rings,
I'm just gonna put a name out there. Let's talk about one of the greatest running backs ever, Barry Sanders, who has not won one Super Bowl. But one of the greatest running backs to ever touch the turf.
With a terrible offensive line.
Because he retired 9 years in his career because the Lions wouldn't even trade him. That's the only reason. The Lions wouldn't even trade him.
Let's go back to another Lion. Let's go back to another line.
He didn't have the protection up front.
Let's go back to another line who made. Let's go back to another line who made the Hall of Fame. Megatron. Didn't win a Super Bowl.
Because they didn't want to give him up. They didn't want to trade him. He said they said to them two people, "You're not playing with nobody else if it ain't us. You're not playing with nobody else if it ain't us." That's what straight told him.
A Super Bowl doesn't define career.
Doesn't define.
No,
it doesn't. It doesn't.
Because here's the thing: if I'm looking at guys who don't, for instance, like, is Damian Lillard trash? No, he's not. Why? Because has he been to a finals? No. But you look at the other things. You look at his stats. You look at his. You look at everything.
You look at how he.
You look at what he brought to the team. You look at what he brought to the team.
Plus, the organization haven't put nothing around him. Haven't did nothing to help him out.
Yeah.
So when I hear Portland for
down the conversation to
not putting enough around him to help him make a run to the NBA.
Definitely agree. Portland hasn't done nothing around, put nothing around this guy.
You don't know what you're talking about. This is fact.
Wow.
This is fact. You don't know what you're talking about. That's all it comes down to. Because if you're saying this, you are now basically ignoring the argument.
No, we're not saying what? Lions, Bengals, Browns, Falcons are all great teams then?
No. And by the way, the Bengals are a good team, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
The Lions are one of 4 teams never won the Super Bowl. The Lions are the Super Bowl.
Listen what he's saying.
One of 4 teams never to win.
Put that back up. Put that back up. So check it out. Fine. So the Lions, Bengals, Browns, Falcons are all great teams then. Yes, the Lions have been a great team at one time when they had Megatron and Barry Sanders. The Bengals are good right now. The Browns were good when they had Jim Brown, correct? When he was one of the best to ever play the game, right? Yeah. The Falcons was good when they had Mike Vick and Matty Ice was the man out there, Warwick Dunn and all of them. So yeah, they were all at times great teams at one point in time. They were. Are they now? No. But at one point in time, they were good teams.
The Browns and the Bengals. The Browns and the Lions, like Jonathan said, they never won a Super Bowl in their goddamn career.
Never.
Since they've been in the franchise, they never.
Facts.
And the one thing that still hovers over the Falcons' head is the loss to the Patriots when they had a 21. I believe it was a 21-3 lead. And
right.
They
That's why I said that Matty Ice.
Chick-fil-A.
That's when Matty Ice was
in that stadium.
That's when Matty Ice was.
That's how awful it was.
Gritty, and I just want to throw it out there. I was so sad. I didn't leave my house for like 3 days. I understood why he left though. I get it. I didn't leave my house though. I was so sad. I called out of work and everything. Swear to God, I didn't want to be seen. I'm not talking about this with this dude no more. I'm not talking.
It's pointless because he doesn't get it, man. Like we've all said, when it's all said and done. Last point is the fact that collectively, championships doesn't define anyone. There are great players in every sport who have not won a championship. No matter what you look at, how you look at it, there's players in all types of sports who have not won rings or championships.
Michael Jordan got 6. Charles Barkley got none, but he's still
0.
one of the best power forwards.
0.
But he's still one of the best power forwards.
Charles Barkley is still one of the greatest power forwards.
But if we're going based on, and this is gonna be the last thing I'm gonna say. If we're going solely based on rings, not only is Bill Russell the GOAT, but Robert Horry is better than Michael Jordan.
Because he got 7 championships.
Say that.
He got 7.
7 championships. He has 7 championships. That's pretty much every team he went to. He won at least a championship or 2 championships.
He was fortunate. He lucked up on the right teams at the right time.
Yep.
He just happened to end up on the right team at the right time.
Yep.
And
Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter. Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter gonna be Hall of Famers. They haven't won championships.
And say that part. Neither has Allen Iverson. One
of the best
guards to ever play.
One of the best guards to ever play.
Better.
Yes.
Never.
Yes, Joe.
Never. But he made it to the championship. But he made it to the championship.
Yes.
He did. 2001 against the Lakers.
Yes.
It
is what it is, bro.
Everybody can't win.
Even though we want everybody to be winners and everybody to be champions, everybody just can't.
Everybody just can't win
for everybody.
It's
not possible.
No, it's impossible.
It's not possible.
College football is here. First game I want to talk about: Michigan versus Ohio
State. This is it.
This is Harbaugh's legacy right here. This is Harbaugh's legacy.
This is his job.
This is it right here.
His job on the line.
This is his job, bro.
Not only will it be wild because Ohio State just went up, but you can make a case. I'm pretty sure, if I'm mistaken, correct me. Michigan wins, their ticket is sealed and it's punched in terms of
making the
playoff.
Yeah.
I
think I saw it earlier today. I think if they win, it puts them at like 95%. Yeah.
So
Ohio State gonna drop out because they're gonna have 2 losses.
Yeah, they're gonna drop out.
They drop out if they fuck. If they lose, they drop out.
Yeah. And you can make a case because I'll tell you right now.
But the thing about it, though, Pride, Harbaugh has never
Let me say this real quick, Bishop. Let me say this real quick, and I'll throw it back to you. I genuinely
not in his career.
The loser of this game drops out.
Yep.
I genuinely believe that whoever loses this game.
Yeah, whoever loses this game, they drop out.
It really matters. This game really matters.
It's a big game. Oh, it's a huge game.
It has huge implications.
This is the game. This is the watch because so much is riding. Because again, on top of Ohio, I'm not even just talking about being in and out of the playoff. Ohio State just got up to 2. They just got there. And I'm going to tell you something. If they get it up to 2 and then lose to Michigan, people are going to start asking, do the rankings even matter? That's going to be a conversation. Because if you got up to 2 and then you get, heaven forbid, you get manhandled. You know what I mean? But Bishop, I knew you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying my whole thing is like Harbaugh has yet to beat Ohio State, bro. He has yet to beat Ohio State. So this is the thing, right? And I don't even know if Michigan has enough to beat Ohio State. Michigan has some of the best DBs in pass defense in the NCAA. However, it's something about them Ohio State Buckeyes who has that Michigan Wolverine number, man.
They don't have the athletes or the offense to make it competitive. They don't have the athletes or the offense to make
Michigan just don't have the athletes on the offensive side of the ball.
Exactly.
I think Ohio State is better offensively. Michigan is better defensive wise.
Right.
Now, offensively, I mean, that's the way
CJ Stroud and all of them. Ohio State
always been overpowered.
Ohio State can open up a nice lead.
Has the better defense, right?
Huh?
So you said Michigan has the better defense, correct?
No, Michigan had that's
the better pass defense.
The better pass defense.
But how is it possible for you to know that? That's bizarre. Is there like some sort of metric out there that tells you how good their defense is? Is that true?
I mean,
Well, I mean, when it's all said and done, you look at how many yards has been passed on each team throughout the season.
So using that simple information, you can then be able to make a proper, a proper assessment on their defense to see whether or not it's good or not. But wait a minute. I thought there was no such metrics in college football. Huh.
Well, Brian, here's the thing, too. The defense hasn't seen anything like this yet. They haven't seen an offense like this yet. And I mean,
CJ Stroud and all of them.
Yeah, they about to have a rude awakening against Ohio State. And if you open the Ohio State history book, Ohio State has won 15 of 16 against Michigan. I mean, so history's on their side in this game. And I'm definitely going with Ohio State big. I think they blow out Michigan in this game. And of course, sadly for Jim Harbaugh, I think he'll stay winless against the rival team.
Let me ask you a question. If he goes winless, does he get fired?
Yes.
I think you can consider moving on from because of that one game right there. I think he should. I'm not gonna say he gonna get fired because I don't know, but they should take that in consideration. Not because he can't win a big game. He can't win a big game.
He can't get past them. Yeah, you have to take that in consideration. You have to take that in consideration. If you can't, if there's one team that has your number and you continue,
because that's what you brought in. That's what you brought in for, just to beat Ohio State.
That's a rivalry game. That's a rivalry game.
It's not like that Michigan can't get by Ole Miss, or it's not like one of those teams. It's the fact that for some reason,
it's the rivalry
Michigan
game.
and Ohio are destined to dance forever and ever and ever. And in order, you got to get through Ohio State. So if you can't get, and I think, Coach, I think you said, I'm pretty sure everyone here is in agreement with that. They brought in John Harbaugh specifically to get through Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like in his contract,
he has failed.
Get through Ohio State. Then it's make the college football playoffs. Like that is his goal is to get through them. If he can't do it and he remains winless, will he get fired? I don't know.
But he's failed miserably.
That's a conversation at the bare minimum.
Yeah, that you need to have. That they need to have. You need to take that into consideration.
Because I feel like he's on a hot seat.
Out of all the time,
it's been 10 years since Michigan beat Ohio State and 18 years since Michigan beat a good Ohio State team. So I just don't see it happening.
And then you had one competitive year against Ohio State. What happened the next couple of years? It's not even close. The games don't even be close with Ohio State and Michigan.
Right.
Just real quick, before I let you guys go, I just want to read off the top 10 real quick. Georgia's at 1, Ohio State at 2, Alabama at 3, Cincinnati at 4.
They're playing today.
4. Michigan at 5, Notre Dame at 6, Oklahoma State at 7, Baylor at 8, Ole Miss at 9, and Oregon at 10. By the way, if you guys are wondering where Michigan State fell, they fell down to 12. It took now for them to fall down to be below Michigan. We're not going to talk about that, though.
That shakes things up a bit, though.
But that's how it's looking.
So let me ask y'all this. And this is mainly specifically for Coach Dante. Because the Bedlam game is this weekend. That's Oklahoma versus Oklahoma versus number 10 Oklahoma. 10, right? Number 10, right? Number 10 Oklahoma versus number 7 Oklahoma State. Now, this is a Bedlam game. This is a rivalry game. Now, Coach, if we beat Oklahoma State with Baylor being 8th, do we jump Baylor?
Yes.
Beating Oklahoma State?
Yes.
Yes, because you played the more competitive team. You played the more better team. In Oklahoma, Baylor playing Texas Tech. It just depends on how much they beat them by and how much if you dominate.
I don't even care about about the whole what's harder or whatever. If they win, they would be 11-1. Yeah, right now they're 10-1. If they win, they'll be 11-1. And if they beat Oklahoma, who's 7th, you win the head-to-head matchup. So I don't care unless you know what I mean. Like it's kind of the same conversation we have with Michigan and Michigan State. You win the head-to-head matchup, you shouldn't be under them. So if they're at 7, by default, I would move them up. I mean, me personally, I would just switch 7 and 10. If I'm gonna keep it a stack,
that's how I feel it should go.
That's what I would do. If Oklahoma wins and they beat Oklahoma State, they should move up to 7, and then Oklahoma State should drop to 10. unless they get washed. Now, if they get mollywopped, washed, embarrassed, then they need to drop down further.
Well,
so, I think it all depends on how that game goes. Go ahead, Greg.
No, I was gonna say another factor also, guys, is Notre Dame there at 6.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that media, ESPN, the college football playoff committee, they love Notre Dame for whatever reason. And that's one of the reasons why I hate Notre Dame. They always get special treatment every single time.
And then they get shellacked. They get shellacked in the first round.
They get blown out. Exactly.
They get blown out straight out the door. They not even they act like they get blown out. They shouldn't even be in the college football playoff. They're just a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why I think Notre Dame gets all this love, right? Because Notre Dame in the regular season, they're pretty good, right? You know how every single year they want to find that bracket buster. They want to find the few teams that could all of a sudden, this team is a sleeper. They're the ones who can go on a roll. Notre Dame has always been in that conversation.
But this ain't March Madness.
But they don't win.
This ain't March Madness. This ain't basketball.
They don't.
This ain't March
Madness. It's because of the name and their history. And you got to remember, this team has a movie.
Facts.
That's a movie.
Yeah, I get it.
And they have a big TV deal too, a massive TV deal. So, I mean, all that goes into play.
They don't get. It goes back to the history. They get blown out. They get dominated when they get that. They get dominated. These are blowouts.
Yeah, they always lose in a blowout.
Notre Dame gets like.
They finish with a good record, and then once it's time to play a team that really matters, they fold in the big moment.
Right. Yeah. Like this is like, bro, Notre Dame, like they're what people call the bracket busters. I know, Bishop, you said this wasn't
yeah.
But I'm saying like in college basketball, you try to find the teams that are sleepers, Yeah. And that's what I'm saying here in the playoffs. They try to find those same guys. That's why I call them bracket busters, because playoff busters it doesn't sound cool. Bracket busters, that sound crazy, that sound popping or whatever, but. Like, that's really what they look at in Notre Dame, like Jonathan said, they have a good record every year, and on top with the history, and all that stuff. I mean, look, I understand why the love and the allure for Notre Dame is, but at the end of the day, I mean, and Coach, I'm against you. I don't think that they should, be out of the college playoff. I ain't going that far, but I do get your point in terms of
no. I didn't say should be. I said they get overmatched. Like when they get there, they don't look like they should even be in. The way they get there, that's what I was saying.
They definitely get outmatched by their opponent. Yeah, they can't find a way to win the game.
Yes, they're not even competitive.
Right.
Every time they made it, they get blown. They just got literally dominated and get blown out.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time.
Making it seem like
every time they're in the game, it's always a cupcake game.
Yeah.
It feels like an early regular season start, like how you see those blowouts early in the season.
Yeah.
And you see every time they get to the playoffs, you see it. You see
and Notre Dame is the stuff in the toilet. Yep. Notre Dame is always the stuff in the toilet.
And Brian Kelly, believe it or not, is still there. All the rest of the coaches that came before him got fired. They didn't even get a chance to turn it around. Charlie Wise, Tyrone, help me with his last name. He was there.
Tyrone Willingham.
Yeah, he got fired, so like I feel like they gave Brian Kelly multiple chances to figure it out and turn his program around. In which he did. He leads them to the playoffs, but like you guys say, he never finished the job. So
can't finish it off. Yep.
I don't know.
So the other game, the last game we'll talk about, Cincinnati versus East Carolina. Cincy is 4-0.
The trappiest of trap games right here.
With the low key, because listen, Bishop, I know you chuckling, but even though Cincinnati is 4-0 versus the team with the winning record, East Carolina is 5-0-1 when they're the underdogs in their last 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, look, I'm not saying it means something, But it means something, Bishop. That's all I'm saying.
No, I totally agree with Jonathan what he said. It could definitely be a trap game. No, without question. With the way this whole year when it comes to sports, man, has been mad crazy. Whether it's basketball, college football, NFL, like everything has been mad crazy, man. So yeah, the trap game is definitely not out the question. I could definitely see that happening. I don't see Cincinnati losing, but any given Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Thursday, whatever, you know.
And real quick, Coach, before I let you go, when I look at Bishop now, I looked at a man humble. I looked at a man who learned. Because last time we had the trap game conversation, it was about your Oklahoma.
It was.
It was your Oklahoma, the good old OU, and you said, "There's no way. It's impossible. Never. Nope."
Yeah. I wanted to fight Dante that week, man, because Dante he jinxed my team, man. He jinxed my team, man.
Yeah. I just look at the way
good question.
But this always happened though, because me and your team's in the Big 12. The Big 12 is always like that. You always, no matter who you play, you got a lot of trap teams in there. So like they was due for a loss because before they played that game, they were close to losing each and every one of their games. Oklahoma didn't even look good. First five, they were close to losing. Yeah. So I knew they were doomed to lose. They haven't played well. So
right.
I mean, I knew.
And I totally agree. I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't shocking, and I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't shocking that we lost to them. Baylor is a good team. They those one, like he said, in the Big 12. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due.
Now they're good.
Yeah, Baylor is a good team. You know, Baylor is a really good team. Texas is a good team. We know who the dominant teams are in a Big 12. Baylor, Texas, Oklahoma State, Kansas State. You know, those are the teams that are, you know, that give Oklahoma problems when it comes down to it. Those are the teams in which we have to fear the most coming into these games. And even when us playing Oklahoma State this week in the Bedlam game, a lot of people got Oklahoma State winning this game by 54%. 54% of the nation has Oklahoma State winning over Oklahoma in this Bedlam game. But I'm hoping the opposite. I'm hoping what happened to us versus Baylor is what happened for us versus Oklahoma State. That's just me. That's what I'm looking at.
Right.
So let's hope.
So 2 quick questions. Greg, let me start with you. Do you think Georgia beats Alabama?
Yes, because of their defense.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know I had 4 Gregs on the panel. That's crazy.
Yes. I think they beat them. And by the way,
and Kirby Smart, he understands. Kirby Smart, he understands Nick Saban better than anyone else.
Yeah. And by the way, this is what got me to Alabama. This is going to be. I got 2 upset picks for this weekend. Now, this one may be far off because I don't like this team and I want to see a different team in there. Just like how I felt about the Patriots, I just want to see a different team. So I got Auburn upset Alabama at home. Auburn in the Iron Bowl. It may not. I might be off, but I don't care. Yeah, I've been hot the last 3 weeks, so I got Alabama losing to Auburn in the Iron Bowl.
I like
Iron Bowl.
That's hot.
And I got Wisconsin losing to unranked Minnesota. We got Wisconsin losing to unranked Minnesota.
I think the wildest Iron Bowl upset that I've seen was back in 2020 when Chris
when
Davis,
when they made the national championship. They made the national championship.
That was wild right there. I remember that game. I actually wrote about that game.
So y'all put that in your head by tomorrow. Alabama's I got Alabama losing in the upset. They have not played well. They played terrible against LSU, and Arkansas almost beat them. Beat them too. So they played terrible against Arkansas. And then I got Minnesota at home beating Wisconsin, number 14 Wisconsin.
Alabama hasn't looked like that same dominant powerhouse that we've seen in recent memory. The team that will blow out everybody and just punk everyone. They're not that team anymore. But I do think Georgia beats them. Like I said, you have Kirby Smart. He's done a great job, building back that program. And then, of course, you got a stout Georgia defense that can really get after Alabama. So I got Georgia in that game.
And nobody's scared of Alabama anymore. Nobody's scared of them.
But see, this is my thing, Coach. This is for y'all, Coach Greg, Jonathan, Pride. I don't even think it's about necessarily being afraid of Alabama no more. And this is my biggest concern, right? When it comes to that game between Alabama and Georgia. Nick Saban always finds a way. He always finds a way. That's what makes Nick Saban such a great coach. Because even when people think that they should lose a game, Nick Saban always digs deep down and finds a way to pull out a win.
Now, I will say this:
his players are always mentally and physically prepared for those big games and those big matchups.
Always. Georgia will beat Alabama. I do believe that. However, teams not being scared of Alabama, I don't think that's a bad thing for them. For Bama, I don't think that's a bad thing. Because at the end of the day, regardless if you fear them or not, this is a team, this is a program you need to respect. And if you just go in thinking it's going to be a cakewalk and it's going to be a breeze, that's when they're going to catch their blowouts. Because Nick Saban was being asked, what do you think about, people are criticizing you because you're going to get a blowout? His answer was, I don't give a shit. We're winning. Lick my nuts. Like, that was his response. That straight up was that's how he felt. And I've been telling people, look, I understand it's not pretty. They get in the wins. But once people stop being scared of them, it's the beginning of the end for other teams because then they're gonna start trying to act like they're gonna do a blowout, put themselves in a hole, and that's when Bama's still gonna start getting those blowouts.
Yeah, this is the time.
Go ahead, Greg.
This is Georgia's time. If they don't get this one with as good as a team that Georgia has right now, then it may never happen. With Kirby Smart. This is their chance right here. This is
their year. Yeah.
They got the best defense.
Yeah.
They should win this game.
Yeah.
But Bishop, like you said, Nick Saban is the Bill Belichick of college football. He knows how to get his team ready.
Yes.
And I would not be surprised if Bama did pull this out.
And this is the best chance. This is the best chance, like Greg said, that Georgia got. They clearly by far got the better defense. Top defense. You knew that. I saw that when they beat Clemson. The way they beat Clemson, I saw that defense was on point that game, man.
Yeah.
Man, it wasn't
without question. Georgia has the best defense. By paper, by pen and paper, by stats, Georgia, like I said, they just fly. By stats, this Georgia team is supposed to win this game. However,
college football has stats.
Mm-hmm. Here you go. but
because when I say it, it's a problem. When I say, look, if Bishop says it, if Coach Dante, Jonathan, Greg says it, their stats, we got people going, no. And when I say it, all of a sudden, it doesn't make any sense. It's wild to me. I've never in my life heard that.
Yeah, they got stats.
I didn't know. Listen, I'll be honest. I don't watch college football. I watch highlights, the occasional bowl game because it's trendy. But I didn't know there was something called, what was it, stats? How do you say it again?
Stats.
Oh, my goodness.
Stats are in every sport, bro.
This dude here, man. Yeah, don't let Pride gas y'all up, man. Y'all know your Pride. But, yeah, by paper, man, Georgia should win this game. It's going to be close. It's not going to be a blowout. It's not going to be a blowout.
The only way it'll be a blowout.
You got two of the best teams in the country going at it.
Yeah, it's not going to be a blowout.
No, I think the only way it'll be a blow is if one of these teams come in thinking it's going to be key.
Yeah.
And then they start making those mental errors that kind of put them in the hole. That's the only way.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a blowout.
Right. If both teams come to play, it's going to be.
Which they will.
It could possibly even go. I could possibly see this game going into an overtime.
I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked at all. I mean, we're going to be honest. All right, so let's go.
Either way, it's going to be a good game.
Let's go over the rankings real quick to see if you guys have any issues with it. Obviously, I said the top 10, but I'll just go over it again for, clarity's sake. Number 1, Georgia. 2, Ohio State. 3, Alabama. 4, Cincinnati. 5, Michigan. 6, Notre Dame. 7, Oklahoma State. 8, Baylor. 9, Ole Miss. 10, Oklahoma. 11, Oregon. 12, Michigan State. 12, BYU. 14, Wisconsin. 15, Texas A&M. 16, Iowa. 17, Pittsburgh. 18, Wake Forest. 19, Utah. 20, North Carolina State. 21 San Diego State, 22 UTSA, 22 Clemson, 22 is UTSA, 23 is Clemson, 24 Houston, 25 Arkansas. There's one team that dropped out of the rankings, and it was Mississippi State, who last week was at 25. Any surprises, gentlemen?
Yes, UTSA is still too far down.
Yep.
Who's too far down?
UTSA.
Nah, no. Hold on, no. They're dog shit.
That way everybody treating them like.
Not 11 and 0.
I think UTSA, man. I think they should be between 15.
At least a top 15 team.
That's a top 15 team, bro.
At least.
Records don't matter. No, records don't matter.
Yeah, they should. They damn sure should.
They should.
They should have a least.
Did you know
where
you
the teams
could
are ranked
lose the entire season, but still be ranked because of who you play? Did you know that?
So if Notre Dame plays the same schedule as UTSA, Notre Dame is great.
Absolutely, they number one. I'm guaranteed they number one. They number one.
Hold on, Say that one more time. Please.
If Notre Dame played the same schedule as UTSA, Notre Dame is looked at as a great team. They are
number
great.
One team in this league.
Number one. They're the best ever. Yes.
Yep. Number one team in the nation.
Just pointing that out.
I swear, and it's funny because
they're not gonna do nothing when they get in the playoff.
Exactly.
When they get in the playoff.
Exactly.
Zero.
This is where you guys want to pay attention to. For those of you watching, just want to pay attention down here. By the way, these rankings are courtesy of ESPN. I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, no, UTSA at 22, 11 and 0. They're dog shit. By the way, they're a horrible.
Hey, you know what? When I was on Pride Show, I believe a week ago, they beat Power 5 schools. You don't know it? TCU. They beat TCU. TCU is in a good conference. They just don't be 12.
But look, coach. Check it out though. AP poll got it right. They got them at 15. The AP got it right.
Yep, 15. Yep.
Yeah, the AP poll got it right. They got them at 15. So that tells you a lot right there. The CFP got them at 22, whereas the AP got them at 15. That's right. That's right there. How is that so far off? How is the AP got them at 15 and the CFP got them at 22? Like, how you got all them other teams above UTSA on the CFP, but on the AP you got all these teams below them?
You know some of those polls are never active.
It's crazy.
Not active, but accurate. I mean,
accurate. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
And you know they're biased. Some of them,
but it's crazy though. But look at it though. If you look at it all the way leading up to what number 13, they got it's identical all the way up to 13, and then when it gets to 13, that's when they got 14 in Wisconsin and Texas A&M at 14, and then they just flipped. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. And here's the thing. There's people out there who don't know what they're talking about. They're absolutely morons, right? And they hear what the committee is saying and then regurgitates it. Then when you call them on it,
they rehash it.
Instead of owning it, they go, "Oh wait, I didn't say that." Like Bishop, I don't know if you remember before you left, somebody was saying, "Oh yeah, the reason, Michigan State was above Michigan was because they have the better team all top to bottom." You called them on it, then all of a sudden double back talking about, "I didn't say it. No, that was the committee said." This is like, look, I'll be honest with you. Like me personally, Cincy at 4, I'm just glad they finally moved up because that's been one of my biggest gripes. Like, because his daddy's been disrespectful.
They should actually be 2. They should actually be 2.
And I have no problem with that. But again, Cincinnati, their name, bro, it's called the Bearcat. It's not a cool name. So we got to dock them some points for that. You feel me? Their uniforms are generic and boring. So we got to make them lose another spot. So that's why they're at 4.
That doesn't mean they should be discriminated just because of their name.
Right.
And look, and here.
The Bearcats, I mean, it's not the best nickname in the world, but hey, they're playing some good football.
I do too, Gridiron.
They deserve some kind of respect.
I do too, Gridiron. I hope they change it too, man, because this CFP is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Did y'all see how badly they beat SMU? And SMU was a good team. You see how badly they beat them a couple of last weekend?
Yeah.
Right.
Let me ask you, fine gentlemen on this panel. What should be more important? Who you play or your record? What should be more important?
Both. I think
what
it should be
should
both.
be more important?
Your record. If I had to choose, your record should be better.
Yeah.
Because like I say, you don't make it nowhere. You don't make it to no Super Bowl, no NBA championship if you don't win games. If the record not important. Come on, man. You gotta win games.
Plus, what if the team you played wasn't really all that bad of a team, but then they lose to somebody else, and then then you trying to base things off of the teams and everything, then it just messes up the whole standing.
Bishop,
really,
I need help. How do I zoom? There it is.
It messes up the whole standings when you go based on the teams they play. Because the other team can lose to somebody else.
It do look like a Chick-fil-A logo. It do look like the Chick-fil-A logo. It do.
It's Chick-fil-A. Hold on.
It do look like the Chick-fil-A logo.
No way. Hold on.
Just click on the team. Just click on the team.
Nah, we zooming in.
I made fun of that person.
It do look like the
Cincinnati's logo before. Actually, there's a meme I posted up on my Instagram making fun of that.
By the way, when they called Keith Lee Bearcat, by the way, this is wrestling, by the way. When they called Keith Lee Bearcat, my first instinct was if Keith Lee does not demand a release, like, this dude is ridiculous. When they called him Bearcat, I was hoping he got released. Thank God he did, because they were not doing nothing with him anyway. But my whole thing is, records don't matter. You can go over, but if every game he plays against ranked opponents, that's fine. You can get in.
Records should matter more.
And if you're not ranked, you're shit. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that if you're not ranked, you're a horrible team?
Yes.
Did you know that?
A&M lost two. A&M lost two games with against two unranked teams. So hey.
Right. How is Texas A&M ranked ahead of UTSA? They got 3 losses.
That's what in my whole point. That's what I'm saying.
But Greg, losses don't matter. Record don't matter.
It should. It should. I mean, granted, Texas A&M beat Bama, but still, you shouldn't be that much ahead of UTSA.
To each other, I don't know. I just feel like what
if you play a team that beats somebody else and then they go based on the team that you played? See, that's not always fair, right?
My thing is here's my thing. They should have like 3 criteria, and this is what I said. This is the criteria I would have, right? And mind you, I've talked to numerous people, who not only watch college football but actually cover it. So these are people who know what they're talking about, and this is the general consensus. 1 should be your record. 2 should be your metrics and stats. So, like, how are you throwing the ball, running the ball, and how does your defense fare against those things? Then strength of schedule. Like, that's how it should be.
But in the NBA and in the NFL, records matter.
Well, but again, this is college. I guess since it's college, it's different. So
because you have a larger field. You have a larger field. That's why.
And that goes to my point. If it's a large field and there's only it's a massive field and only 25 teams are ranked. Yeah. Doesn't that mean some good teams are gonna be out?
Unfortunately, yes. There's always a team that gets snubbed. And there's always some controversy at the end of the season about a team that got left off or left out of the playoffs.
I mean, look.
And there's going to be one team that's going to be unhappy there because there's going to be one team that gets omitted from the playoffs. It's like that every year. Mm-hmm. And the committee, they do their best to try to get it right.
No, they don't. They don't try. They just. I mean,
the committee is all about who can make us the most money.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
There it is.
Who can make us the most money?
And that's where Notre Dame comes in.
Exactly.
That's
where you have 4 powerhouse teams in the playoffs. Power 5 teams. You're winning. College football is going to generate billions of dollars because of that.
And again, that's the problem people don't understand. If you look at the list, it's more about who makes money. Like, that's how the rankings have been. And my thing is, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't. It should be the teams
that are playing the best football.
Right, because even because the way I look at it, regardless of where, like, if you rank, let's say you rank Alabama at 25, right? Let's say you rank them at 25. That's still a big name school, and people are still gonna watch. So it's not you got to keep them at a top 4 just to, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of my thing, you know. Same thing with Ohio State.
Me personally, I'm the guy that wants to see the little guy play the big guy. That's just me personally. I think that's not always such a bad matchup. Like college football makes it out.
The way I look at it, if you're good, you're good.
If you're good, you're good.
That's how it comes out.
That's how it should be.
Good, you're good.
Hey, Jonathan, just like you said, I'm constantly bringing this up, and I think Pride for to know where I'm going with this. You say you always want to see the little brother play the big brother, right? So how about a couple of years ago when we had, you remember that team? You remember that team, Boise State, that everybody say they didn't play nobody the whole year, and they shouldn't be able to play in the national championship, but they did end up getting a New Year's Six game against the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. You remember that game years ago? And how did that game turn? How did that game turn out? Did Boise State beat them on that Statue of Liberty? Yeah, so that's a little brother, and but again, they said they couldn't compete with teams like that. So let's go back a couple of years later. You remember Blake Bortles was at UCF, right? And they said they couldn't, they wouldn't be able to compete. They wouldn't be able to compete, right? How did they do against Baylor? They dominated Baylor. They dominated them. So let's stop saying some of these small schools can't compete. Like UCSA can't compete. Yeah, they can compete with some of them schools.
They don't get a fair advantage.
Bro, but here's the thing, bro. The people, they just go read an article from ESPN and then try to pass it off like it's theirs.
Yeah,
that's where you see a lot of these people saying that stuff.
A lot of this stuff is rehashed, and they're hearing it from,
exactly. Yeah, like there's not their opinion. They're just pretending it's theirs because they're hearing it
from mainstream media, and they're buying into what mainstream media is telling them, and they're brainwashed by that. So then they take it, and then they say this. They basically say the same thing that everybody else is saying. But there are small schools out there that are really, really good too, and it's time that we start paying attention to those little teams. But no one's going to really pay attention, Pride and Greg and Coach, because here's the thing again.
Money.
Who can make me the most money?
Yeah, that's what they care about
the most. They care about pocketing billions of dollars, and as long as that continues, that's going to be the trend for college football. And so that's why I haven't really paid much attention to college football, because I've been turned off because of all of that. I haven't been happy with the standings, and I don't necessarily always agree, because there's a lot of bias and there's a lot of favoritism now in college football. And to me, a lot of that has to change. And I'm not going to really tune into a lot of college football until that does change.
Alabama could have had 4 losses and there still would have been a top 14.
I mainly just focus in on matchups now. I don't really watch every game anymore. I just watch the big matchups really. Like last week, I just watched UCLA and USC.
Oh my god!
Even though that rivalry is meaningless now, it's irrelevant. No one really cares about USC and UCLA, because I remember at one time when this was one of the best crosstown rivalries in sports, and people would really, really salivate over that matchup. They look forward to seeing it, but there's no stars on the team anymore.
Right.
These teams don't have convincing records that people care about too much. So it's a rivalry that's there, but it's like it doesn't really matter anymore.
I feel you. Before we wrap it up, we got NBA today. We got the Pistons at Clippers. Magic will host the Bulls. Suns at Knicks. Timberwolves at Hornets. Grizzlies host the Hawks. Wizards at Thunder. Pacers will host the Raptors. Celtics will travel to San Antonio to play the Spurs. Nuggets will host the Bucks. Pelicans at Jazz. Trailblazers at Warriors. Kings at Lakers. I want to start with you, Greg. What game do you think is going to be a good game, and what game do you think is going to be a stinker?
Good game. I'm gonna go with the Warriors Trailblazers game. I think that'll be good. I think that'll be a good game.
Who you think will be a doo-doo game?
Woo. Let's see. um Pistons Clippers might be a doo-doo game. just because the Clippers should blow out the Pistons. I mean, they should, but that's not. Yeah, Clippers should win by 20 in that game. So that's the doo-doo game.
Greg is like, if y'all lose by 19 or less, it's an L on your record.
Yeah, it's an L. Yeah, pretty much.
Jonathan, what game you think is going to be lit, and what game you think will be trash?
I'm tuning into the Grizzlies and the Hawks.
Man, he stole my pick. How does he got me? He trying to rob me.
Both of these teams have, when you look at it, both of these teams have identical records. They both have electric point guards. They're really a fun team to watch. I like Ja Morant. I think he's the most explosive player in the NBA. He has definitely elevated this Memphis Grizzlies team. And now all of a sudden, you never want to miss a Memphis Grizzlies game because you know what you're going to get. The Grizzlies play a downhill style of basketball. They lead the league in points in the paint. And, they're exceptional in the paint. And part of that's because of what Ja Morant can do with his speed and his ability to get down the court. Yep. But the Grizzlies, they do have the worst defense in the league. But I think this makes for an exciting contest. I think it will be epic theater, and I definitely think that's a game you want to pay close attention to.
I definitely 1,000,000% agree with Jonathan on that. That's the game I was just for the pick until he got me on that, until he robbed me on that. And the Hawks are hot too, man. The Hawks are very hot. They were 4-8 a couple of weeks ago, about a week ago. Now they're 10-9. So this will be an interesting game between a good point guard battle as well, man. Trae Young versus Ja Morant. If Jaren Jackson Jr. can stay healthy, that guy can be a secondary scorer, man. Like I said, if that guy can stay healthy, that guy can play some defense. He can shoot. He can rebound. If this guy can stay healthy, he can be good. In the most terrible game of the night. Ah, my goodness, man. The Bulls and Magic can be much worse. The Bulls
don't even entertain it because we gotta go.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Don't even entertain that question.
I'm just gonna say, I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't. Every good team eventually they're gonna lose to a bad team. The only way I'll be worried is if they lost because of injury or something like that.
Man, if they lose, you should definitely be worried.
You think so?
Because they'll be back to back. They'll be back to back. They'll be back to back L's. You got back to back L's against bad teams. You got it. That's concerning when you take back to back L's, especially going in. Orlando can be tough too in Orlando, but you got to beat Orlando tonight, especially if your guys healthy. You got to beat them.
I just want to throw this out there. Washington Wizards last week was the number 1 seed, and everyone was poo-pooing them. The descent has began. They're now the 4th seed, barely above the Hornets. So. Just want to throw that out there. So when they get back to the obscurity, to the basement, I think it'll be funny. In terms for me, I think the worst game we're gonna see is Timberwolves and Hornets. I have no faith in that game whatsoever, and I don't even think LaMelo can save it. I'm putting it that way. I don't even think LaMelo couldn't even save that game. In terms of which game I think will be an actual great game. The Knicks and Suns. I think that game is going to be.
That's another great matchup.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that. They're basically between two teams. The Knicks are 7th in the East. Phoenix is 2nd in the West. The Knicks kind of starting to click a little bit. Everyone's starting to learn their roles. Kemba Walker is not as much as a liability. Still a liability though. Evan Fournier, he kind of came back to earth, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's what I have. So, but yeah, it's been another great episode of ASAP in the morning. Greg, matter of fact, Jonathan, do you have any final words?
Man, it was an awesome show with you guys, as always. You know, I look forward to doing this every morning, but this will be my last week with the morning show until 3 more weeks when I'm on break once again. I was on break all this week, so I was able to come on and join you guys for the morning show. So it's been a pleasure, but you know, I'll be around. I'm part of the ASAP family, guys, so I'll be around. I'll be doing just the truth.
Yeah, 100%. Now, we definitely will see you around, and you know, if you ever try to retire again, I will find you. Just want to throw that out there. Greg, you got any final thoughts, my guy?
Oh man, just another awesome show. It's always fun, you know, talking sports with y'all. You know, talking our stuff.
Sure.
Talking our stuff, man. I love it every morning, man. So yeah, awesome time.
Yes, sir. Coach Dante, what you got for me?
Another awesome show, man. Every morning, great Thanksgiving. Just a blessing, man, to be on here with you guys. You know, talk with you guys, man. The chemistry, the vibe is there, and like I say, all of y'all got to get me on the podcast, back on the podcast, man. Y'all got to get me on now. So another great showing, man.
Positive vibes only.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
As always, it's been fun. You know, Greg, Jonathan, Coach, and you too, Bishop. You know, you dipped on me, but you know, when Oklahoma loses, when good old OU loses, I'm gonna be blowing up your phone. Everyone in the chat, appreciate you guys. Definitely was fun. And yeah, we will be back here tomorrow morning for more screaming, more arguments, and more cutting each other off. Like, that is what we do best. Okay, screw the sports, forget all that. We just need to scream. So it's your boy Pride on behalf of Greg, Jonathan, and Coach Dante. We will see you guys on the next one. Be safe.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.